What the fwig? The hell's going on over there? Who's naked in my chat? Who's naked in my chat? Starry! I should have known. I should have known it was Starry. Thanks for the stweak. What the absolute Sigma freak. Hi, Piss Boy, I missed you. I missed you too. Oh, let me get on. Hi. 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 Hello. Hello. Oh, I thought my ad break all started already. Oops. My bad. My fucking bad. What the fuck was your woof? Oh, fuck. It just accidentally barked for stream. Slim's Fist. Hi, Ganoovs. Hi, Texan. Hi, Galaxy. Hi, Bite. Alpha. Oh my god. Stop the alpha. You think... I'm not gonna ask that question, actually. We're in a call for 21 hours, Carl. What the fuck? That's so long. That's so long. Desayuno. Oh, desayuno. What the fuck does desayuno mean, actually? I think desayuno... Wait, what the fuck? Desayuno. Desayuno. In English. Just me. It just me. Desayuno just means breakfast. It sounds like so sensual, you know? Desayuno. Desayuno. My penis! Thank you for my penis. How are you guys? What are you up to? What have you been doing? How was your day? Have you been up to wonderful, wonderful things today? Have you? Have you? Tell me all about your day. Tell me in great, explicit detail how your day was. Otherwise, I'm gonna start crying and pissing and shitting. Thank you for my penis. Who's fucking stolen it? That's a secret. I'm pretty sure there's an anime about my fucking wiener getting stolen. I started neverness to everness. What is never mods? Pull it up, Jamie. Neverness to everness is it's a video. Oh, that's NTE. I keep seeing a bunch of VTubers playing NTE. Okay. Herd chef. Gotcha. Oh my god, my allergy. Sorry guys, I'm fucking getting my ass beat in the QRTs. What happened to Ananta? Is that game still coming out? Is Ananta still happening? Have there been any updates? Has there been any like new trailers? I wonder what happened to Ananta. I haven't been keeping up with it at all. If there is anything new that came out about it. Drank last night and then didn't sleep for 19 hours? For 19 hours? Dude, as soon as I get like a few drinks in me, I am like I'm out. I have like a couple hours in me at most when I drink. After that, I just wanna honk Shua on the couch. Or kept me awake. Oh, okay. Teehee. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Speaking of which, where is the little barnacle? Sorry. Fuck, sorry, I'm trying not to die right now. You guys don't need to hear. Fuck, I didn't water my plants today. Oh my god. Oh yeah, I think I told you guys. Wait, I think I told you yesterday. I'm a father now. I have two plants. I think I did tell you that yesterday. Yeah, I have a strawberry plant and a ghost pepper plant. Also, big news.
Talk about your waifus to your therapist.
Hello, monster condom user 45. Welcome to the sour tarts. What an appearance you just made there. I'm glad we didn't get started yet. Welcome in. Oops, I dropped my monster condom that I use for my magnum dong. Welcome in. Hello everybody. It's a wonderful wendigooner Wednesday. I hope you have been wendigooning it all day, and if not, you'll get your wendigooning in right now. Fucking ibuprofen all night, huh? Wendigoon in a little bit. Let me talk. I miss you guys sometimes. I'm wendigooning. I'm wendigooning right now. Just chatting, streamer. Get him. He's talking when he said he'd be gooning. Get him. Get him. Did you just do that in my ear? Yes, I did. You're welcome. That'll be $5, please. From what I am to understand, that is an affordable price. Speaking of affordable prices, spits in your direction, you should be paying me. Listen, buddy. Yeah, Starry got it. Starry gets it. Fucking 65 cents. Take it or leave it. I'll take it. Stretch my neck. I'm not even. Hold on, wait. I'll play the fan service. Hold on. Here, this is what I know you guys want. All right, there you go. You get brief flashbangs every time.
I'm long dick style, okay?
Thank you, Cuck Chair, for the 16 biddies. The itty bitty cucky committee. Give her back. No. I should make a redeem where I could bring Lena up at any point, though. Maybe that'll be one of the new ones. Take 16 cents. Don't listen to Starry. No, I wanted to talk about the little voice notes thing, because we just reached 125 question mark. Pull it up, Jamie. Pull up the event graphic. Event. Pull it up, Jamie. Yeah, we hit yesterday. As of yesterday, we hit 125 followers. Wow. Oh my God, that's crazy. Not 125 followers. I'm stupid. $125 doodles on the road to 1.0 thing. So that means we get the 1 week of free voice notes. So I'll put this in the Discord so you guys, you know, you can have a little frame of reference. But I'll probably start them tomorrow, and I will probably make a thread for them somewhere on the Discord. I probably won't make their own channel. Actually, maybe I will make their own channel, because then I could just make threads out of it, and it'll be like a temporary thing. You know, you post like a little 1 to 2 sentence little thing you want me to read, and post it in there for the next week, and I will do it if I so desire with whatever you decide to send me. I don't have any strict rules, but just have some common sense. Have some common sense about it. You know, if you're like, should I send this? Probably don't. You know, probably don't. But, you know, I'll do curse things. I don't mind. You guys did get me here, so if you want to hear me say something. Also, if you want to... I didn't have sense how common I can make it. You know what, Knives? That's actually pretty true. Common sense says the alcoholic millennial. I'm not a millennial. I'm a boomer. I'm also not an alcoholic. I am an alcohol enthusiast. I don't drink alcohol for dependency. I drink it for entertainment. What was I gonna say? Fuck, you just fucking derailed my brain. I'll punish you with 16 autistic clowns. I'm pretty sure they call those the sour tarts, actually. And I think I've been punished with way more than 16 of them. Speaking of 16 of them, we only need 8 more followers to 200, and I still don't have, can I, Piss Boy, have fun without alcohol? I'm having fun right now. What are you talking about? Who railed my brain? Who do you want? What do you mean? Not an alcoholic. I'm not an alcoholic. Who railed this? My brain. My brain. My mind. Yeah, I haven't figured out what I'm gonna do for 200 followers yet. So, you know, if you guys have any ideas, feel free to share them with me. I don't know what you guys would want for 200 followers, but you know, we could do something. That's a pretty big milestone, considering if we get it before the end of June, because we got 100 followers. I gotta. Chat wants me to be here. Chat wants me to be here. Fuck. What was I gonna say? Because we reached 100 followers at the end of December. It was like the 29th or something. And so if we can get 200 before the end of June, we would have doubled our followers in a much shorter time. And also with much more consistent streaming, which is probably way better for that. Wait, what who wants to be here? Mods, look into this. Mods, look into this. That's what I thought. Let her sleep. She's fucking tired. Let the woman sleep. What would you do if I redeemed crack a cold one? Probably finish my soda. Mods, make 8 alt accounts. Mods, don't do that. I don't want to cheat, but she's precious. Yes, but you can also let her sleep. Like pockets. Let me get off. Let me fucking close Twitter here. Wait, fuck. Why? Fick. Fucking what the fuck? What accent is fick? Is it fucking Irish? Is that the meme fucking pronunciation of fuck? Mods, start the bot viewership. No, don't do that. Don't do that. What's our next? Oh, we're like 40. No, we're $24 away from the next punishment stream. If that's any incentive for you guys to you know, help out on the 1.0. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I still can't wink. My glasses, I don't think I have good enough lighting for winking. Yeah, hold on, let me position it so you can't see the hair over the right eye, and then I'll wink. Fuck, you can... Hold on, wait, I know a solution to this, hold on. I know a solution to this. Hold on. That's me winking. That's a wink, trust me. I'm winking. I'm not blinking. Just promise me. You have to trust me on this. Wink, wink, wink. Okay. Keep thinking about Dale Earnhardt. Peak. I'm so glad I'm able to tell my friends to watch NASCAR, and then they watch NASCAR, and then they end up liking NASCAR because it's fucking amazing. It's so cool. It's so cool. But yes. I'm having a lot of fun with this event, and having a lot of fun right now. When my shower winks at the concert and just closes her eye. Yeah. Hey. Fuck. All right. You guys want me to start wendigooning it. That's what we're all here for. I'm going to start wendigooning it. Think about violent endings. Submit the yaoi fanfiction with the violent endings. Fickle bitch, no. Mods, cut his penis off. Good. Not pin me off for real. On God, for real. But now I think is a perfect time, now that we have some peace and quiet, to goon it. Wendigoon style. This is the Detroit Pistons Deadly Curse. And then I want to watch the Pinkertons video. The Pinkertons! You're telling your guns, the Pinkertons, to come and rescue you! Alright. Hello, Wendy. Oh my god, what a face. He's fucking Wendigooning it right now.
With Lindy Waters III becoming a member of the Detroit Pistons, you've probably heard some mention online of the Detroit Pistons curse.
I have not.
Specifically, a curse that says
Specifically,
any Native American basketball player that joins the Detroit Pistons will die in their 30s due to some drowning accident.
What the fuck?
True? Is this a curse?
What the fuck?
Conspiracy or just coincidence? Well, stick around as we talk about the story and history of this curse to see if Lindy Waters needs to be afraid of the water. Haha. On February 11th, 2025, Lindy Waters III made his debut as a member of the Detroit Pistons, and in doing so, became the fourth Native American to play for the team. The Kiowa American is one of the several natives to have played in the NBA, joining a decorated list that also includes former All-Stars and champions such as John Starks, Aaron Gordon, and Kyrie Irving, to name a few. For professional athletes, the term legacy is often
Kyrie Irving
with achievements of high esteem, whether it be the fan favorite or greatest of all time.
Kobe.
However, the legacy of Native Americans playing for the Detroit Pistons is an ominous one. That is because every Native American who has played for the Detroit Pistons has suffered tragic water-related deaths. So let's back up and give some history. The first Native American to play for the Detroit Pistons was actually the first to play in the NBA. Phil Jordan of Northern California.
What is corned beef?
An athletic.
Pull it up, Jamie. Corned beef. Oh, you said. Oh, you're saying like what? It's corned beef. You're not saying what is corned beef. My bad. Oops.
Prowess for basketball at an early age. Of
Corner beef.
Non-Lockheed descent, his
that was my
earned
nickname in
Jordan
high school.
An athletic scholarship to Whitworth College, now Whitworth University, in Spokane, Washington. Ironically, Jordan's mom was over 6 feet tall, but her maiden name was Short.
His mom was 6 feet tall? Golly!
And could score at will with either hand. He was given the nickname The Flash for how quickly he could move through the other team's defense. Jordan made his professional debut after being drafted by the New York Knicks in the 1950s.
Knicks mentioned!
Career, which included stints with the St. Louis Hawks, the Cincinnati
Fucking love
Royals,
the Knicks.
and the Detroit
We
Pistons.
are the New York Knicks.
He averaged nearly 11 points and 9 rebounds per game, playing alongside legends like Oscar Robertson and Lenny Wilkins. And going toe-to-toe against Bill
These are some
Russell
real
and Wilt
fucking
Chamberlain.
1950s ass
If you know
names.
nothing about basketball, just imagine that those names mean something to you. Infamously, Jordan is best remembered for a game he didn't even show up for. On March the 2nd of 1962, the Philadelphia Warriors beat the New York Knicks 169 to 147. I guess both teams just decided that day that defense was optional.
Yes.
History was made that day as Wilt Chamberlain, one of the all-time greats, set the single-game scoring record with a 100-point performance.
Wait, what? He did that against the
Jordan,
fucking
who would
Knicks? Oh, I didn't know
normally have been
that.
responsible for guarding
It's so
Wilt,
fucking
did
Jover.
not play. According to American author and journalist Gary Pomerantz, Jordan was in no condition to suit up due to him spending the previous day drinking a whole case of beer while celebrating his teammate Sam Stith.
This is such a fucking 1960s thing. I feel like a player would not... What the fuck? Where'd I go? I feel like a player today would not be able to do something like this and not, like, still be on the team. It's like one thing. It's like, no, we as a team, we have suspended him for not taking this seriously. And this was like, nah, he's just got a hangover. It's okay.
Whose wife was delivering their first child. Jordan later went out that evening with another teammate.
His friends had a fucking baby, and his first instinct is to drink a case of beer.
Donnie Butcher. Now, Pomerantz's
incredible.
Was disputed by fellow Knicks player Willie Naults, stating that Jordan's absence was because of illness. Now, regardless of the conflicting accounts, Jordan was known as a drinker and partier during his tenure as a professional athlete. Jordan played his last NBA game on April the 7th, 1963, and retired after the season. He moved to Tacoma, Washington, and lived there until he tragically lost his life 2 years later. In June of 1965, Jordan fell into the Pile Up River after his raft broke apart.
How did the river pile up?
Safety, but the 6'10" Jordan did not. It took nearly a month for authorities to find his body. Now, it's unclear why the men were out on the water at 10 p.m., but it's reported that Jordan was testing the raft before the accident occurred.
Oh yeah,
His
bro, I'll
family's
drink to that
version
one. He
of
drunkenly
events
said
was
as
that
his
it
friend's
happened
wife
in
holds her newborn
preparation
on the
for
other
a race at the
Wait, hold
annual.
on. He's kind of real for
According
that,
to his
actually.
niece, Lisa Jordan, quote, something happened to the raft and he didn't make it to shore. On January the 5th of 2025,
Beef is an omega. Yeah, beef's
Bill
like a
Jordan
massive
was
omega.
posthumously honored by the Golden State Warriors.
Beef's a fucking
with the Golden
pincushion.
State Impact Award, which recognizes individuals who have made a significant impact to their communities or have broken barriers in their respective fields. Despite his untimely death and off-court challenges, Jordan's legacy will be remembered as being a trailblazer for his community.
Trailblazer.
Now, on its own, the story is simply
Say
a
that to my
tragedy
face.
that happened to a seasoned athlete.
Pincushion.
But what's odd is the similar events that would happen later.
I never
The
ask
second player
anything
for
of
the
you.
Detroit Pistons was born Lloyd Leslie Dove Jr. on August 16, 1945. Given the nickname Sonny, his mother was of the Mashpee Wampanoag tribe, so by tradition, her children belonged to the tribe as well. After moving to the mecca of
We'll
basketball,
keep that there.
New York City,
No problem, Pookie.
Dove picked up the sport and developed
Pookie.
an incredible jump shot. And
Look,
always found
mine's
a way to
me.
the basket, which made him a highly skilled rebounder. As a result, this 6'7" forward earned a full
6'7".
basketball scholarship to St. John's University in Queens, which would become a thematic haven for Dove throughout his life. Dove was known by his teammates for always laughing and being full of life, and he played 3 seasons at St. John's, averaging
Mods,
19 points
don't
per
do
game.
that.
After
Mods,
3
have a great
seasons,
night.
Dove went to the NBA draft and was
Mods,
selected
respect
as the
yourself.
4th overall pick in 1967 by
6'7".
the Detroit Pistons. Dove spent 2 unproductive seasons in Detroit, averaging less than 5 points per game, before joining the New York Nets of the ABA in 1969, which at the time was a rival league of sports to the NBA. The fact that you didn't know
Maybe-
what that was until I had to tell you shows how that rivalry went. The change
Uh-oh.
of scenery and returning to his home
Shut the
city
fuck up.
proved
Shut up.
beneficial for
Shut the
Dove,
fuck up.
which led
No,
him to
maybe
a pair
the
of
number
successful
67
seasons,
should stop showing up
averaging
so
only
much in
15
sports.
points per game.
And especially in
During the
important
70-71 season, Dove played
topics.
alongside future basketball legend Rick Barry, as well as reunited with his former coach from St. John's, Lou Carnesecca. Unfortunately, the 1971 season would be Dove's last, and he would never play in the NBA again when the ABA merged.
And he'll
in
never play in
1976.
life again.
That's because in 1972, a bicycle accident shattered Dove's leg, ending his career as a professional basketball player. He
Oh.
needed a career change, but was
Oops.
30 credits short of a college degree, so Dove returned to the place where he excelled, St. John's. He eventually graduated with a bachelor's in communications. After graduating, Dove worked in sports radio as a broadcaster, and in the 1980s,
I feel like you
he
didn't
was
need a
color
degree to do
commentator
that,
for
but
St. John's basketball.
I guess it's not the modern
However,
day
the gig
yet.
didn't pay much, so to supplement his income, he also
If he
worked
had that, he
second
would have had a
job as
fucking
taxi
gig on
cab
like a
driver.
local radio
When his
station
former
in a
coach,
heartbeat.
Fonseca,
Went to
found
Wendigooners
out
Radio,
about
not video
Dove's
after the
part-time
Pinkerton one.
gig,
Isn't that
he
one
wasn't
like
thrilled, especially since
fucking
Dove was
like
still in
3
the limelight
hours?
and somewhat of a public figure. I mean,
Plus, I
imagine
want to
if,
save
like,
that
LeBron
one
James
for
broke
like a
his
video
leg
game
on a motorcycle, and
analysis
then he was your
stream if
Uber
we
driver
reach
one
that
day. You'd probably
reward
feel
tier.
bad for the guy. I mean, granted, LeBron has enough money now. I'm sure that he wouldn't have to do that, but you
Oh, wait,
get my
hold on.
point. So Dove wanted
can
the
actually
taxi
see that
cab
now.
thing
Oops.
to be temporary, but as he was waiting for this opportunity, he still had responsibilities.
Pull it up,
And
Jamie.
despite being separated from his wife, he wanted to be a good father to his daughter, Zaina, who was
Oh,
living with
video
him at
game
the
essay
time.
stream
So
is
credit
still like
where it's due.
150
Despite where Dove
away.
came from, he didn't think himself too good.
Or no,
or good job
125
to support
away.
his
So
daughter. Dove seemed
it'll
to
be a
fall into the
stretch
trap
on if
that a
we
lot
can
of
get there.
professional sports players
But I
do at
would
the
still
time,
like to keep
where
that in
they
the
either
pocket for
spent all
that.
of their salary
Hydrate,
or
you
lent
got
to
it.
family members.
Thank you,
And to combat this,
thank you,
Dove would
Galaxy.
often advise high school students to question college recruiters about their education, hoping that they would avoid the same fiscal woes that befell him. So it seems that Dove wasn't only a great athlete, but a stand-up guy.
How
which
nice.
makes what happened to him all the more tragic. Dove's final game as a
Uh-oh.
radio broadcaster was for St. John's victory over Big East Conference rival Georgetown on Wednesday, February the 9th. On a snowy Valentine's night in 1983,
Not on Valentine's.
37-year-old Dove drove his cab onto the Hamilton Avenue Bridge headed west towards the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. This bridge is one of New York City's 24 movable bridges, and this one in particular is the
Where
first
are they
canal
going?
crossing north of the Gowanus Bay.
Where's everybody
That
going?
evening, the
They
drawbridge
go.
bridge was partially open to let a vessel pass through, And due to the dangerous road conditions, the Department of Transportation sent a bridge attendant with a lantern to alert motorists that the bridge was open. Another
What
important
fucking year
reason
was
for the
this?
attendant's presence was due to the fact
The
that the bridge's
60s?
protective gate was inoperable.
Surely there
because
were.
of power failure that caused the gate to be out of order.
Surely there are other ways to
This
block them,
combination
like
of
maybe a
factors led to
roadblock
tragedy, as
with
around
like some
9:45
reflectors.
PM, Dove tried to apply his brakes when he realized the drawbridge was raised, but it was too late. He skidded off the bridge and fell 25 feet into the canal's 10 feet of water. Unfortunately, Dove did not see the bridge attendant, who had to jump out of the way. And
Oh
you
my
can't really
God.
blame him. It's 1983 and the dude has a lantern. Like, where did
Yeah,
he
wait,
even
what the fuck?
find
This is the
a lantern?
80s?
We had television, like LED lights.
Yeah, what the
And
fuck? I thought this was the
microwave.
60s. Hold on, what the fuck? Why are you out there with the fucking the British are coming? The British are coming. Fucking get the fucking flashlight out.
And the guy found like an oil lantern. Was he on a horse? When the first police units arrived on the scene, they saw bubbles in the canal and notified emergency service divers, who pulled Dove from the
Fucking
water
this is-
30 minutes after the.
I'd be so fucking pissed if this is how I die. You have all the fucking options that 1983 could provide. Like fucking fucking Blade Runner was out by that point. Fucking Star Wars was out by that point, and you fucking have a lantern as your only fucking safety device in New York City.
Crash. He was later pronounced dead around 3 a.m. at Long Island College Hospital.
Oh,
Dove's daughter
fuck,
Xana
poor
and his
dude.
estranged wife Patricia, from whom he was separated, filed a $1 million damage suit against New York City in compensation and punitive damage, but ultimately settled for $750,000. And yes, if the city of New York said it was okay for that guy to have a lantern, I would sue too.
Yep.
Dove was honored posthumously by his alma mater and inducted into the St. John's Athletics Hall of Fame, the New York City Basketball Hall of Fame, and St. Francis Prep Ring of Honor.
Why would you settle
cementing
for
his
that?
legacy
Probably
as one
not,
of the
because it's
city's
not worth
best
to keep
homegrown
racking
talents.
up
As with
lawyer
anything,
fees.
Once is an occurrence, twice is
Like
a
he
coincidence,
wasn't.
but three.
He had a career-ending injury, so he probably had like decent money, but not like they weren't making super maxes like they make today. You know, they weren't making millions back in like the 60s and 70s. So they probably had like a decent amount, but not a lot. And that's not really a case that you can go to like a public defender for. So like lawyers are very fucking expensive. So if they can just 60, 70, and yeah, if you can just go ahead and settle, for if you're suing for like over $1 million and they're like, you can get all your money now and it'll just be 750, and it's like, you know what, fuck it, fine, I guess. Not what you want, but also, is it worth it to keep fighting for that extra, like, what were they trying to get? Let's just say 1.5. Is it worth it to get like double what you're getting, but it also be like another 5 to 10 years before you get anything, and then you're accruing those fees anyway over time, supported by just your own income? It would be better to settle.
3 times is a pattern.
At least
which
in that
leads us
situation,
on
I
to our
think.
next tragedy. The most recent Native American
Trying to get 1 million? Oh, even worse. Yeah. Are you gonna fight another 5 to 10 years for another 250 grand? It's not worth it.
to play for the Detroit Pistons is arguably the most successful and well-known due to the fact that he won a coveted NBA championship with
Wow.
the Chicago Bulls,
Wow.
alongside Hall of Famers Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman.
The big
However,
three.
After retiring from the NBA, he was never seen again.
What?
Bison Dell, born Brian Carson Williams, was the second son of Patricia Phillips and singer Eugene Williams Jr. of the American R&B soul music group The Platters. Naturally, his
Not the
first
Platters,
passion
not
was
the
music,
Yadas.
as you can imagine, playing
the
instruments like the
Yadas.
violin and trumpet. Williams initially favored track and field until a growth spurt in high school at Bishop Gorman High School in Las Vegas pushed him towards basketball. He played 1 year at the University of Maryland before transferring to the University of Arizona, where he averaged
I'm
12
from
points per game.
Arizona.
This 6'11" center declared for the draft after his junior year and was selected by the Orlando Magic as a 10th pick in the first round. Williams
You
had
talking
an
about the worm?
unspectacular start
That's
as a
not the
professional
worm.
basketball player.
That's
He
its
saw limited
tongue.
playing time in Orlando, where he may have started to realize he didn't love the game as much as he thought he did.
Ain't
His
got that
teammate
dog in him.
Tom Talbert once saw Williams crying while reading a biography of Miles Davis. Upon asking why he was crying, Williams told Talbert
This
that
book
he
is
just
so
wished
ass.
to have the same passion for basketball that Miles had for music.
Mm.
Williams' emotional state might have been an early indication of issues with his mental health. The Magic sidelined Williams because of clinical depression, and in October of 1992, he attempted suicide by nearly overdosing on sleeping pills.
Oh my
Although he
God.
was not committed to a hospital, Williams admitted that he felt
Jesus.
drugged up the following days. Prior to the incident, Williams had suffered from fainting spells and even collapsed during practice while guarding future star Shaquille O'Neal.
You can't go from a guy attempting to take his own life and then use that fucking picture of Shaq up there, dude. We're trying to have a serious conversation here. You can't fucking pull that out.
Which prompted the team to take him off the active roster. Williams, not Shaquille. On his way to a workout, the Magic center
Get Shaq
blacked
outta
out
here.
and crashed his car into a concrete column of an overpass. Luckily, Williams was not injured.
Oh, okay.
After undergoing a series of neurological and cardiological tests, the team's medical staff did not find any serious heart problems. Being such a highly touted prospect, Williams took this bizarre physical reaction personally, unable to find reason to why he was having these setbacks. The team tried their best to help Williams cope, but
Fucking
after
neck
2
is about to
seasons,
fall off.
their relationship had run its course. He joined the Denver Nuggets in the 93-94 season and played a career-high 80 games. Averaging 8 points
no
a game,
load
he
management.
stayed with the team for another season before joining the Los Angeles Clippers in 1995. It seemed like his career was progressing in the way one might hope, as he averaged nearly 16 points per game, easily the best season of his career thus far. Unfortunately, Williams would end up sitting out most of the following season due to a contract dispute. See, it doesn't matter if you're in
Dude,
movie making
yeah.
or sports
What the hell?
or
It's
writing
always
or
contract.
whatever. The attorneys will always get you. This free-spirited artist trapped in an NBA player was best
Motherfucking-
encapsulated by a story recounted by Pete Serrano,
It's always the lawyer.
who was
This
the Clippers
lawyer.
equipment manager at
Let
the
me tell you
time.
about this
One
lawyer.
day, while the team had an off day in Dallas one afternoon, Williams called Serrano to meet him in the hotel lobby. When Serrano got there, he saw a helicopter in the parking lot, as well as another Clipper, Mark Sealy,
It's
who
Kobe.
Williams had convinced to join him for a ride. The three of them, including the pilot, spent nearly 5 hours in the air over Texas.
Helicopter.
Williams was not the type of
Helicopter,
person to spend the day in
helicopter.
his hotel room. He had to get out and see things. It's such an interesting case because he was good at basketball and seemed to be adored by a lot of people while he was doing it, but it doesn't seem like his heart was always in it. That
Sometimes
there
you
was
just
these
lose
greater
love of the
passions
game,
for
man.
The world he wanted to come across, and it led to a lot of personal turmoil.
Yeah,
Williams
that's.
played basketball not out
It's
of
unfortunate,
love
but
for the game,
sometimes you
but
just fall out of
necessity.
love with like
Like
something
most
you've
professional
trained your whole
athletes,
life
the role
for.
of provider was thrust onto him. His
You
parents were
can see
divorced,
that a
and
lot
his
in a
older
lot
brother,
of sports,
born
honestly.
Kevin Williams,
When
was
someone
constantly asking for money.
just like
As
doesn't
Williams
get
fit
what
with
they
the
want out of
Clippers came
something.
to a-
Shut up for a second. When someone doesn't get what they want out of like a sport, or they take so long to get something and then they finally do it and then they just like fall off, and it's like, well, their passion isn't there anymore and they're just not going to be at the top of their game.
Flows.
Kind of heartbreaking, honestly.
The
Like
Chicago
falling out of
Bulls
love with
needed a
something
big man for
you're
their
so good
playoff
at.
Run, and it was none other than Michael Jordan,
Michael
arguably the
Jordan.
greatest basketball player of all time, who wanted Brian Williams to help the team get another championship. The Bulls signed Williams in April of '97, and he played the final 9 games of the regular season for them as a backup center behind Australian Luke Longley. Coming off the bench, Williams averaged 7 points per game,
was like
but was a
couple-
force for them
couple
in
months
rebounding
back.
and defense. In Game 5 of the Eastern Conference semifinals against the Atlantic Hawks, Williams
Okay.
scored 12 points and had 10 rebounds to
Not-
help Chicago
oh, wow.
move into the Eastern Conference Finals.
Not
In
against the
finals
Knicks,
against
thankfully.
the Utah Jazz, Williams was crucial in the
Jazz.
minutes he played, serving as another big body to go up against league MVP Karl Malone. In Game
Ugh.
3, Williams scored 16 points.
We don't gotta
and
talk
had
about
6
Karl Malone,
rebounds, and multiple Bulls players have cited Williams as a major factor behind them repeating as champions. Williams had finally reached the pinnacle of the sport, and as a result, he was offered a lucrative deal from the Detroit Pistons, $50 million for 7 years. As you could imagine, he took it.
Pretty
During his first year as a
good.
Piston, Williams posted career highs in points and rebounds.
Can I
Although the
sign
team
somewhere
had a disappointing
for
season,
7 years,
just
50
missing the
million? I'll do
playoffs,
it.
Things were looking good
I
for
don't
Williams.
necessarily care where.
Maybe he had finally found his passion for the game. Before the 1998 season, Williams did something that some athletes had done before and many had done
Doping.
after.
Doping.
He changed his name.
Oh.
Following in the footsteps of Cassius Clay, Lou Alcindor, and even Ron Artist, who respectively
Meta
changed their
world
names
peace.
to Muhammad Ali, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Meta World Peace.
Meta World
Williams
Peace.
changed his name to Bison Dell to honor his Native American and African heritage.
Okay.
The bison have been integral to the survivor and culture of many native tribes, not only for their food, but also shelter, clothing, tools, and spiritual significance. And Dell is a common surname in many African nations. The 1998 season was cut short due to a lockout, the third of 4 lockouts in the history of the NBA, and rather than a usual start date around October, the regular season began in February of '99. During the truncated regular season, Dell averaged
Is that how you say it? I thought it was pronounced
5
truncated.
rebounds per game.
Really?
The team made it to the playoffs, but lost in the first round to the Atlanta Hawks, where Dell had his hands full
Atlanta Hawk
battling
to
against
us.
Dikembe Mutombo. Now, Dell was extremely generous.
You get to
Even
bad
before
boys.
he was one of the team's
Bad
highest
boys,
paid
bad
players,
boys.
he'd routinely give his playoff
what you
share,
gonna
which
do
by
when they
that
come
time was
for
more than
you, bad
$100,000
boys,
to ball boys or
gonna
clubhouse
do?
attendants.
What you
Much
gonna
like
do
his
when
former
they come
teammate
for
Dennis
you?
Rodman, Dell seemed to relate better with the staff rather than the players themselves. When the
I think
Pistons'
Bad Boys was
longtime
already out
secretary
at this
was
point.
leaving,
Bad Boys was like
Williams
95
invited
or
her to
something,
his
wasn't
home
it?
Where he cooked her dinner and gave her $10,000. He even gave his
You're
coach,
ugly,
Doug
you're
Collins,
stupid,
and the
I'm
team's
gonna kill
executive
you, give
Christmas
me
gifts,
$10,000.
which is unheard of. He gave each executive a pair of hand-knitted wool socks. I'm just kidding. He actually gave them handcrafted crystal sculptures formed into the Pistons' iconic horse logo. Which was pretty cool and all, but
That's
you liked the socks better. Admit it. Despite these positive qualities, Dell also had some, shall we say, interesting flashes of concerning behavior. The worst of these came when
Women.
the team was returning home on a chartered flight during the 1999 season. As the flight was mid-air, Bison suddenly stood up, walked over to the front of the plane, and actually
Pulled his pants down.
attempted to pull open the emergency exit hatch.
I got pull, right? I said pull down his pants. He went for pull down the fucking emergency exit. Are we fucking kidding? What? You're ugly. You're stupid. You're an omega. Follow me on Twitch. True. Truth nuke.
While
Oh, wait. There you go.
flying at an altitude of over 30,000 feet. I don't even know, like, how you would prepare for that kind of thing.
I don't know how your fucking teammates look at you the same. It's like, it's just a prank, bro. I just wanted to launch us. I just wanted to suck all of us out of the plane at fucking 30,000 feet. I don't see what the big problem is.
A flight with a bunch of your boys coming back from a game. And it's like, hey, Dell, where are you going? Dell? Marvin, his teammates, and team staff, several of them stood up to stop him before Dell suddenly stopped on his own. Allegedly, he told them he wanted to see something.
Oh fuck. Oh my god. Oh my god. I just want to see if the scene in DayZ is real, man. Come on, let me have this.
Ripping open the emergency exit door at 30,000 feet. But the pilot assured him that opening the door at that altitude was not advisable nor possible. According to past teammates, this wasn't the first time Dell had done something like this.
What do you
He
mean,
apparently
like
had
this?
attempted something similar during his tenure with the Bulls. Now, we don't know explicitly what this was, if it was another plane with another emergency exit hatch, or if it was just something
plane
else
ride
that
from
would
hell where a bunch of
potentially put
wrestlers
other
were
team
drinking
members
and
in
slammed
danger.
against the
But
door.
regardless, this seemed to be self-destructive behavior.
Did
While
that happen
earlier
for
he did
reals?
things like consuming sleeping pills in an attempt to harm himself, now he was doing things risky enough to harm others as well. The 1999 NBA season would be the last time Dell played basketball ever again. There were probably many factors that led to his decision. Maybe it was the shortened
open it,
season
okay.
with all the time off showing him what a life removed from basketball might look like. I mean, after all, he had already proven to himself and the world that he had the talent and skills to reach the highest levels of the sport. With that, Dell
Greek
informed the
Christ of
Pistons he
Ypsilanti.
was retiring. They asked him to stay. They needed his skills for the
Three. I have wendigang and wendigoon. Two and a half hours. That'll go in the watch later. That is That is a long video, but definitely I do want to watch that. That sounds fucking interesting. A psychological experiment gone wrong.
Their roster.
Okay.
They also owed him more than $30 million. Even if he didn't want to play, Dell could have easily hung around the team, phoned it in, and collected an easy paycheck with 82 games a year. I mean, he even could have faked or milked an injury, something that is somewhat of a problem in the NBA today, and been paid to sit on the bench and work out. But regardless, Dell told the team that he didn't want the money. True to his nature, Bison Dell wanted to explore and to experience everything life had to offer outside of basketball.
Look
And
at
that
the
he
two.
did.
About
Dell was a part owner
for
of a
this
water
one's
purification
almost
plant
40
in
minutes.
Beirut,
I think the other one's
where he
also
spent
about 40
several
minutes.
months. In Pamplona, he ran with the Bulls, the real Bulls, not the basketball team this time. He wrote poetry while exploring the Australian outback and learned how to sail, eventually buying a catamaran in early 2000. Dell named the boat Hakuna Matata, a misspelling of the Swahili phrase that means no worries, something I'm sure everyone who watched Lion King is familiar with. The vessel was over 50 feet long, contained several bedrooms, a kitchen, and a living area that Dell furnished with a wraparound padded couch, beanbags, and a TV. He had a rotating cast of captains, mates, and travel
Wait a
partners
second. Does he
who
have?
sailed
Do I
the
have his
South
microphone?
Pacific
I think I
from
do.
Australia to Papua New Guinea. He'd finally found the peace of mind he had
I
struggled
need
to
that
find
microphone. I don't know.
throughout his
Mine is like
career.
this
However,
shitty
what did
$10
seem
one I
to
got from
follow him
Amazon
from
like
his
7
days
years
of
ago.
Basketball was a dark shadow that he could never escape. His older brother, Kevin Williams, was born 3 years
Well, that doesn't
before
look like a
Dell,
very
and
pleasing
although
photo.
he grew to be 6'8", asthma dashed any hopes of a life in athletics. While Dell was
Damn.
more sociable
All right,
and
call me out,
naturally
why don't you?
curious
Fuck.
like his father, Kevin took on the traits of his mother, socially awkward and extremely sensitive. While Dell excelled as a collegiate and professional athlete, Kevin was not so blessed. He attended De Anza College in Cupertino,
Bottoms
but
up.
never graduated. His asthma had gotten so severe, he had to take
Can I
steroids.
bottom up here?
At time, the boy's mother, Patricia, had to take him to the ER. It was Dell who
Um,
paid his older brother's medical bills and
Anything
at
left
times
in
watched
these?
over him.
No.
However, Kevin was liable to spurts of anger. He
Oh,
was known
I
to
can
be
down
a
this.
heavy drinker. Dell would often hear from Kevin every couple of months.
I have some
with a new scheme
wine,
to get
and there's
rich.
only like a little
As much
bit
as Dell
left,
tried
but
to
like it'll
distance
be more
himself from his
fun and more
family,
worth your
his
points.
generosity always bore through. He bought his mother a house and spent around $80,000 to put her through school at UCLA. Twice, Dell gave his brother Kevin $50,000 as a gift. After his first season
How-
in the NBA,
how fucking
his
much?
father worked as a limo driver.
Excuse me? Back this up, wendigooner. Fucking what?
Her through school at UCLA. Bought his mother a house from his family months with a new scheme to get rich. As much as Dell tried to distance himself from his family, his generosity always bore through. He bought his mother a house and spent around $80,000 to put her through school at UCLA. Twice, Dell gave his brother Kevin $50,000 as a gift. After his first season in the NBA,
Jesus.
his father worked as a limo driver and lounge singer in Las Vegas while also battling a cocaine addiction. When Dell surprised his father with a $15,000 brand new Harley Davidson in his driveway, his father told him to give him cash next time. It is very tragic.
Fuck, man. Oh, this guy's fucking family. That's fucking heartbreaking, dude. He just wanted to help him out. Fuck.
I have a lot of sympathy for Dell the more I learn about him. He seemed to be a kid
Yeah,
that
that's
was
really
really
sad.
interested in the arts and music, but he was good at basketball, and honestly, there was more money in it. So he goes to do that, and he makes a lot of money, and he pays for his brother's hospital bills, he pays to put his mom through school, he pays to buy his dad nice things. But at every point, they want more and more. They get angry at him, and they just want cash instead of gifts or thoughtfulness. And Dell continues to support them because, you know, it's his family.
It's his
What else
family,
can he
yeah.
do?
You can't.
And then you see a lot of the self-destructive
that.
behaviors that Dell was showing to his teammates or to people in private, and it creates
I
one
mean, it
big
makes
tragedy.
sense.
For Kevin, his dream was
Unfortunately, it makes sense.
crushed with the comparison of his younger, more successful brother. He never felt comfortable in his own skin. He even looked like Dell, but standing at 270 pounds, he was a bigger, less handsome version.
Half lottery
Like Dell,
winners go
Kevin
broke.
dealt with bouts
Yeah.
of depression and
I
drifted
always
further
hear
from
that,
his
like when
family.
someone wins the
He changed his name
lottery,
to Miles, and on
like someone will win the lottery, and then all of a sudden they have a bunch of family pop up that they don't know about, and they're like, "Well, I have the money to help them out," and then it's like, "Well, It's like, yeah, I won 270 million, let's just say. And this family member that I haven't heard of until now, but is a long lost family member, they want 10 grand. I can give them that. And then, you know, that happens a couple times. And then, you know, they're like, well, I have 270 million. I could buy a big house and afford the taxes for the rest of my life. And then I got a nice car and do all that. And then Mike could keep, you know, buying shit for my friends and family. And then, yeah. And then before they know it, they're broke.
Of the famed jazz musician,
This is a damn
and used
shame.
Dabbard as his
Talk
surname,
about your
which
wife
came from a
who's your
relative on his
therapist.
mother's side.
Pizza
So on to his new
cabeza.
identity, Miles Dabbard
Pizza
decided to heal
cabeza.
any broken bonds he might have had with Dale and showed up in New Zealand in
Welcome,
February
hello,
2002
American-speaking
to surprise
people.
his
I'm a
younger
Mexican
brother.
speaker.
By this time,
I'm
it
a
had
Mec-
been
wait,
4
I'm
years
here
since
to learn
either
this
of
shit.
his
Well,
parents had
welcome
heard from him.
in.
When Dabbard showed up, Dale's girlfriend,
Watching some of the
Serena
recent NFL draft videos, heartbreaking. Everyone on their phones filming it for clout, making sure in their frame. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I know there are like oh my God. There's what the fuck is his name? Odell Beckham Jr. He recently went on like a podcast that he was like, I think he made like well over 200 million in his career, something like that. And he went on a podcast and he's like, it is impossible for modern athletes, for the NFL. They need to have some kind of retirement program that keeps paying their NFL veterans because they can't live on 200 million in their career. And it's like, dude, you had $200 million. The average person will not see 200 million. The average person may not see 1 million in savings. You know, like, they're just like, some of them come from spend it all on baby mamas. Does he have a lot? No, I thought that was Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill has a lot of baby mamas. He's gotta fucking hope that he gets some lucrative contracts for the rest of his life. I don't know if Beckham Jr. has a big family. Excuse me, but yeah, I mean, you can't. There are some people, you have like someone like Odell Beckham Jr. who's like, we can't live on this. But then you have someone like Kirk Cousins, who you look at, like, he makes so much fucking money just being like, I don't know who his agent is, but I hope he pays him well. But he has been like above average his entire career. He gets paid so much money. Like, he's had to have made like well over like $300 million or something like that by this point, because he had like no, he must have gotten more than that. Actually, I want to see how much Kirk Cousins career earnings. Yeah, so just in contracts, not even endorsements or anything like that, Kirk Cousins has earned over $241 million. And they interview him and he's like, yeah, I drove my grandmother's Toyota Corolla or whatever until I was well into the NFL, and I only bought a new car because that one broke down and it would have been too expensive to fix. Now I drive like a Dodge Caravan or whatever the fuck. So he drives like a soccer mom van, and then they're like, there's another interview. It's like, oh, where'd you get your haircut? And he's like, Great Clips. It's like $7. And it's like, you know, he's just like, he's spending like a normal guy. He has an average looking house. He doesn't have like this huge mansion. He just lives like an ordinary person. So he's going to have all of these fucking millions for like generations, because he just doesn't spend it on stupid, needless crap. And a lot of athletes should kind of, you know, young athletes especially, should look at people more like Kirk Cousins. Like, you don't need a lot to be happy, you know? And you have a fucking 1/1,000,000% chance to even have a chance at some kind of income like that, to play a sport like that. Yet they're taking full advantage and just like, oh, I'm gonna pay for the posse, I'm gonna pay for the women, I'm gonna pay for the big fucking watches and jewelry and all this shit, and they're just gonna like, well, by the time you retire, you're 35, you know, let's just say, and you know, you retire at 35 with millions, you don't have to work the rest of your life, but by the time you reach fucking 40, all of a sudden they're broke because they kept on spending.
Was immediately dismayed. She called her best friend, who later said on the phone call that it was the first time she heard Serena speak negatively about another human being in the 17 years she had known her. If that tells you anything. So Dell makes a ton of money. No one seems appreciative of it. He goes to Australia and becomes a boat captain. Then after a couple of years, his brother shows up. can only go great from there, right?
Oh, no.
Speaking of Serena,
Oh,
let's talk
no.
about her for a minute. Serena Carlin met
Oh,
Dell
no.
in 1997 when she was 25 years old after returning from a group outing to a concert in Los Angeles. Dell's career in the NBA, where he played on 5 teams in a span of 8 years, made it difficult for them to have a relationship despite their strong connection. Serena hated her retail job and turned down offers to model. One night at a nightclub in LA, Prince, yes, the singer Prince, invited her over to his table. They eventually stayed in touch, and a few years later, the icon hired her as a personal assistant on his tour. She found the whole ordeal strange and left. As for Dell, he had a few flings with starlets, models, and singers, including Madonna,
fair, actually,
though. He found her tiring.
That sounds a little
funny,
creepy.
as he would often hand the phone over to a friend whenever she called, who would listen to her talk for at least half an hour without stopping. That's just really funny. Imagine a basketball player being like, it's Madonna. Can you take it again, please? But it seems Dell
Wait, he was talking about Madonna?
Serena. And although she resisted Dell's advances, over time, her friends heard how she talked about him and knew she was smitten too. Dell and Serena saw the world the same
that's
way,
so cute.
and the fact that he was in the NBA was unimportant. In fact, Dell rarely spoke about basketball. Actually, the only thing he spoke about less than basketball was his family. So while playing basketball, Dell had met Serena, and the two of them were close, but both of their lives were way too sporadic to have any kind of real relationship. But after Dell gets out of basketball, he decides to give it a chance. Dell's purchase of the Hakuna Matata was in part a plan to finally seal the deal with Serena. He contacted her in 2001 and invited her to join him on his voyage around the world, which is incredibly romantic. Imagine you meet like this famous rich basketball player, and then you two stay in touch every now and then. Then 3 years later, he's like, I have a ship in Australia. It's waiting for you. At first, Serena spent 2 weeks
I'm
with
flustered.
Dell,
Just hearing that. Whoa.
Dell called her a couple of times a week, asking her to come back. Not just for a few weeks, but to live with him. I'm not even Serena, and I'm feeling kind of... I'm starting to blush a little bit.
Yeah, seriously. What the hell?
Serena packed her bags,
this is so
and flew out to
sweet.
Dell in New Zealand. She was thrilled to finally find something real. And what she wasn't thrilled about was the discovery that Dell's estranged older brother would be accompanying them on the boat. So with that set up, with all of these players in mind, that brings us to the inevitable tragedy.
No. Come on, no.
On July 6, 2002, the Hakuna Matata left Tahiti for Hawaii.
Tahiti.
On board. Bison Dell, Serena Carlin, Miles Dabbard, and the boat's French captain, Bertrand Saldo. There were 4 satellite phone calls from the boat over the next 2 days, none of which were
like
distress
this,
calls.
please. No, not like
8th,
this.
The satellite phones on the boat were turned off. Nobody was able to locate the boat for several weeks after the phones were turned off, and it was in late August when the U.S. Coast Guard finally sent a distress bulletin to all ships within a 1,000-mile radius of Tahiti.
I know what's happening. Tahiti! I know what's happening.
Then on September the 5th, a man claiming to be Bison Dell tried to buy 461-ounce Gold Eagle coins from Certified Mint, a Phoenix-based gold
certified lover boy.
On the first
certified
union check written in small, neat numbers was the amount of $152,096. Naturally, this raised eyebrows, and the bank notified Kevin Porter, Dell's business manager. The connection between Phoenix and French Polynesia is a world away, but the sequence of events between September 5th and July 6th help fill some gaps. On July the 8th, the same day that the satellite phones from the ship were turned off, a man matching Dabbard's description was spotted at the Pearl Resort on Moria. Then 8 days later, on July the 16th, a damaged catamaran with
I know,
registered as the Aria
but I just
Bella
want to have
was seen
like a
making
better
port
ending
into
for them. They
Phantom
seem
Bay
like they were
in
really
Tahiti.
sweet.
Anyone looking closely enough might have noticed the vinyl letters spelling the words Hakuna Matata removed from the boat's stern. And it would later come to light that Dabbard had docked the boat in the marina and left for Los Angeles, then Belize, and finally Arizona. But Porter had contacted Certified Mint and the Phoenix Police Department about the gold purchase, who apprehended Dabbard in Arizona. After 5 hours of questioning, Dabbard claimed he was buying the gold on behalf of his younger brother, who he said was alive and well in Tahiti. Police had no option but to release Dabbard since Dell could not be reached to disprove the account.
Sorry, I just fucked up my computer for a second trying to turn off my phone, or turn off my fan.
We think you killed your brother. And then that guy's like, nope, I didn't kill my brother. He's alive. Just ask him. And the police are like, well, we can't do that, so you're free to go.
Apologies.
Dabbard then,
Probably should have muted
as
my mic for
innocent people
that.
do, fled to Mexico, where he seemed to disappear.
Mexico.
But the FBI was now on his trail. His mother received a phone call from Dabbard, who told her that he would never hurt Dell, but that he could not survive in prison, hence why he had to run. Again, perfectly normal behavior from an innocent man. By this point, the damaged boat had been found by local authorities.
A
Joint
this
investigation
is so fucking
from the
heartbreaking.
FBI
Finally
and French
signed something
government
he's fucking
revealed that
passionate
there was
about.
no sign of the passengers on the boat. They believe that Dell, Serena, and Saldo, the boat's captain, were dead. Evidence from the FBI showed that Dabbard had purchased almost $200
That's so
worth of
depressing.
weights from the Rebel Sports Store in Auckland, New Zealand. He is suspected to have used the weights to weigh down the bodies of the 3 other passengers somewhere out at sea. Which I understand, first-degree murder is all about, the intent to murder, the intent behind the planning of it and stuff like that. But just the mental image of buying 200 pounds of weights for your brother and his girlfriend so that after you murder them, you can throw their bodies out at sea. It's just diabolical.
That's so awful.
On September the 13th,
that's so fucking terrible.
Dabbard was
What the
found
fuck?
unconscious on a beach in Tijuana and brought to Scripps Memorial Hospital in Chula Vista, California. He was unresponsive, and according to the hospital records, it was suggested based on his physical condition that he had not been moving for a significant period of time.
What the fuck?
And eventually, on September the 26th, 13 days later, Dabbard was taken off life support. He was pronounced dead the following day. The official diagnosis was suicide by hypoglycemic brain damage, with subsequent discontinuation of life support. In summary, he overdosed on insulin and lay down on the beach to die. The bodies of Serena Carlin, Bertrand Saldo, and Bison Dell were never found. We will likely never know the truth surrounding what exactly happened.
Man.
Due to
not even any
Dabbard
closure.
never testifying
That's so
nor
fucking
giving
sad.
a statement to police.
That's
However,
so
he
fucking
did tell his
depressing.
girlfriend, Erica Weiss, his version of the story. So don't worry, the killer is going to tell us his version of events. I'm sure it's to be believed. Dell accidentally punched his girlfriend, Serena, in the face, causing her head to hit a steel davit, killing her instantly. Saldo, the boat's captain, wanted to report the death, but Dell became agitated and killed Saldo by striking him with a wrench, and then, in a rage, supposedly went after Dabbard, who was coincidentally holding a gun, and Dabbard shot his brother Dell out of self-defense. In fear that no one would believe him, he dumped the 3 bodies overboard and then sailed back to Tahiti, and then also ripped off the vinyl lettering of the boat and registered as something else, and then also took 3 different flights to different countries, and then also fled to Mexico.
Sad. That's so fucking upsetting.
Sadly, Dabbard's version of events is the
all
only
Dell
one
wanted
that
to
the
do
FBI
is take
ever
care of
had
his
on record,
family,
but
dude.
forensically, it didn't add up, as you can imagine. If Dell had indeed hit Saldo in the head with a wrench, there would be a blood splatter, especially in the area where they supposedly fought, which had a ceiling.
And there's also a
Among
gunshot.
other things,
He'd probably
including
bleed a
from
little too.
narrative and motive standpoint, Dabbard's version was dismissed. Instead, the FBI publicly put out a statement involving Dabbard, saying he was motivated to assume his brother's identity by killing everyone on board and then sinking their bodies out at sea. Also, not even addressing the absurdity of a scenario where someone is in a fight with you and is so mad that they punch and miss, but the punch is still strong enough that when it hits their girlfriend, she flies into a wall and dies. Even ignoring that, just the concept that you witness this series of hijinks happen to where you're the last man standing, and your first reaction is to steal your brother's identity and try to buy $150,000 worth of gold. It seems that as soon as Bison Dell was no longer supplying money from the NBA to his sickly brother, his brother decided to just kill him and the people around him to try to steal his money that he believed was rightfully his.
That's so
Sadly, his brother
depressing.
took his own life, so he'll never face justice this side of eternity. But he also didn't get to live out a life full of gold and beach vacations in Mexico either, so I guess that's a plus. Bison Dell was 33 at the time of his disappearance and assumed murder. So the tragic cases of Bill Jordan, Sonny Dove, and Bison Dell are coincidental in nature, but serve as stark reminders on how fleeting life can be. Throughout history, indigenous groups have come to know this lesson all too well. Native Americans and their relationship with basketball is an important one, especially in regard to life on the reservation. In fact, res ball, short for reservation ball, is a unique style of basketball associated with natives at the high school level in the southwestern United States, where a majority of reservations are located. For Lindy Waters III, building his own legacy as a native NBA player means giving back to his community, evidenced by him being a guest speaker for several native youth groups, as well as hosting basketball camps through the state of Oklahoma. Whether or not he knows about the Pistons' curse for native players, Lindy recognizes
the name's
those
Bison,
who came before him.
like
when he played for
the
Warriors,
Buffalo,
his previous
like
team before
Bison,
being traded to Detroit,
Dell, like the
he
computer
remarked that
company.
he's fueled every single day knowing that the times that he's playing in are so much easier than what his ancestors had experienced. Waters isn't focused on the water, but rather helping Detroit make a deep playoff run, and ultimately, maybe even an NBA title. It's also worth mentioning, if anyone is to break the water curse of the Detroit Pistons, it should be someone named Waters. And with that, we have the lore of the Detroit Pistons curse. So yeah, no conspiracy or supernatural happening.
That last one really
case
fucking
was
got me.
someone who was out on a raft and then had a drowning accident. Another of a mechanical incident that happened with a bridge in New York City, and the third of a very tragic and brutal murder.
Yeah, that one was the fucking. That was the absolute
Three unconnected
worst.
but very strange stories, given the similarity of their ethnicity.
That's so
and the
fucking
team they
upsetting,
played
man.
for. I understand why this spurred a ton of urban legends and conspiracies online, even if it isn't that.
I feel like I
substantial
vaguely remember that
but either way,
story.
I hope that
Thank you, Mr. Wendigoon. I feel like I vaguely remember hearing a story, like the Bison Dell story, but I didn't know it was like connected to a curse. It's so fucking sad. Officer Paul Revere and his life was doing their best. Yeah, that's so sad. It's so fucking sad. Fuck that. Oh my god, that really fucking gets to me. That the fucking no one in his family took everything. No one in his family fucking took anything he did with like any sort of grace. They just fucking expected it out of him. That's so fucked up, dude. Shit. Shit. Poor dude and his girl too. That's really upsetting. Enough of something completely different. We're going to the rise and fall of the Pinkertons.
if you've seen any of my historical videos on any of my channels,
I haven't.
you may have heard me
Who are
talk
you?
about private detective agencies. While some still exist, they used to be far more popular and far more controversial. Well, in the mid-19th century, the United States was a patchwork of rapidly growing cities, expanding frontiers, and budding industrial centers. The federal government was small, and
We
most
need to
law
get to
enforcement was
Tahiti.
by local
Your
sheriffs
friends, the
or officers of
Pinkertons,
county
gonna
arms.
come and
Criminals
rescue
exploited
you.
these jurisdictional gaps, while counterfeiters circulated forged bills that destabilized local economies. If law enforcement agencies aren't talking to each other, then it's easy to get away with a lot. In the years before the police were a professional public institution, and before federal agencies like the FBI dominated criminal investigations, there was another force that kept the sleepless hours and watched over rail lines, banks, and presidents. That force carried a stark motto: "We never sleep." And its very name inspired
We never
both
sleep. That's a little
reassurance
that's a little
and
creepy.
dread. This
A little
was the
Santa
Pinkerton
Claus-ish,
National
if
Detective
you
Agency.
if I
Or
can say
if
so
you played
myself.
Red Dead Redemption 2, the guys who were trying to stop the Vanderlyn gang. Alan Pinkerton, a Scottish immigrant and
Original
Cooper by
feds,
trade,
starting
saw
the
an
domino effect all the way to the
opportunity in
Waco
this lawless
siege.
environment. Having fled
Where's
Scotland,
Nuke?
Pinkerton arrived in Illinois with a conviction that self-reliance and vigilance were necessary for survival. He lived near Chicago, working with abolitionist leaders and even offering his home as a stop on the Underground Railroad. And in 1847, an accidental discovery changed his life. While gathering wood on an island in the Fox River, he stumbled upon a camp of counterfeiters. Alerting the local sheriff and helping to capture the
Snitch!
gang, he realized
Snitch!
that an individual could make a difference where official
Snitch!
authorities faltered. This early experience inspired Pinkerton to formalize his detective work. In 1850,
Detective
he partnered
work.
with attorney Edward Rucker to create the Northwest Police Agency, which soon rebranded as the Pinkerton's National Detective Agency. Their mission was simple but ambitious: provide professional investigative services wherever
Oh my
local
God,
law
it's
enforcement
Abraham
was ineffective
Lincoln.
or non-existent. The agency offered
It's fucking
surveillance,
cold as shit in my
undercover
apartment.
work, and armed guards to banks and railroads, operating across state lines and emphasizing a moral code that forbade agents from inducing crime. Its emblem, an unblinking eye
Sing
accompanied
crime.
by the motto, "We never sleep," was both an advertisement and a warning. In fact, this phrase would later give rise to the term private eye, cementing the Pinkertons in
really?
popular culture, as well as becoming what
Wait,
armchair
what the
detectives
fuck?
would call themselves when deciphering a true crime documentary case. But the agency did more
Huh.
than inspire language. It collected
I
the
never
world's
would have
largest
guessed. I mean, I guess it makes
repository of
sense, but you
criminal records in the
link
19th
it. But what the
century.
fuck,
It
really?
also standardized detective work and helped shape modern policing methods. The agency's history reads like a sweeping panorama. A series of detective stories, spy plots, labor laws, and public scandals.
Link
all
if you're
rolled
not
into
under
one of the most
federal
impactful and
investigation for 6 crimes.
controversial
I plead the fifth.
institutions of all of law history. And that's a history that we're going to be talking about today. So hello everyone. Today we're talking
Hi,
about the story
Wendigoon.
of the Pinkerton Detective Agency. Pinkertons are something that a lot of us have probably heard of before, or at least heard of a private investigator. But I'm sure a lot of us don't know where that
Fucking
story
dokes.
comes from and why it was so controversial.
A
that we don't
doax.
see a lot of it anymore, as well as changes in federal law enforcement that made the practice less favorable. But it's such a unique and interesting part of American history that I don't want it to be one that we forget about. So if that sounds interesting to you, stick around after the ad as we talk about the highs and lows
The
of
ad?
America's first private law enforcement agency.
What is
Mother's
he
Day is just
advertising?
around the
Uh-oh,
corner, but
it's
first, I have to do this
Raycon.
for my mom and my wife. And I know my wife
My
likes
wife.
listening to podcasts
My
and music
wife.
while she's in the house, but she doesn't like wearing earbuds because she doesn't like something constantly in her ear. Well, now
But
I've
what
got
can
the
I have for
today's
such a thing?
sponsor, Raycon earbuds. And
Whoa,
their new essential
Raycon.
open earbuds design.
Whoa, look
See,
at
rather than your
those,
typical
crazy.
earbud, the open earbud sets in front of your ear instead of inside of it, hooking around the top of your ear and resting over top of your ear canal. So now you get the full benefit of
Rest
an
over
earbud
my
in your ear
canal.
without actually having anything in
Hey,
there
girl, you
that
wanna
would
let
block
me
outside
rest
noise.
my
So now
ear
someone calling
canal?
your name, a car honking, running into someone while out on a jog can all be heard. And the sound quality is high enough that it doesn't lessen any of the things you want to listen to. It's the best of both worlds, and the hook part rotates and is flexible around the top of your ear so it always stays in. Unless
If
you
I'm
want these
listening
things
to
come out,
fucking something
they're
on my
not coming
headphones,
off
I don't want to hear
fixed and
anything.
Off. I think I just cracked my neck, but the earbud's still in. Plus, Raycons are
Touch
half the
the
price
neck,
of their
idiot.
competitors, and if you don't like them, you have a 30-day guarantee. So you can try them out and see if they're right for you, free of risk. I wear mine when I'm
I
working
too just
outside,
hold
or
my
on a treadmill,
headphones
or
up to
riding
the
my
sky
bike,
and let it
I'm sure
bake
my
in the
wife
summer
uses
sun.
hers on her way to work or when she's
I need
playing
mine to
Fortnite on the computer,
sunbathe.
'cause she does that a lot. That's another thing. Raycon earbuds have multi-point connection, so you can connect to several different
kicks.
Bluetooth devices,
Kicks.
and you don't have to reconnect when you want to switch from one to the other. Plus, they have 8 hours of playtime on their battery and 36 hours of battery with their charging case.
Why is that
So
guy
if
just
you're
fucking
on a
staring
you're
into my
probably not gonna
soul,
charge it more
dude?
than once a week. It's an easy step to make your life and the mother in your life a little bit better. So celebrate the moms in your life.
Implying
with
piss
the
boy
link
doesn't
in the
immediately
description
burn when
box or
exposed
go
to
to
sunlight. I am Latino,
buyRaycon.com/wendigoon
boy.
open to get 15%
I was
off the
made for
essential
sun.
open earbuds. That's right, 15% off the essential open earbuds. Like I said, they got a 30-day.
Plus, I
money
work
back
outside.
guarantee,
I
so
kind
why
of
not?
fail to fit
Again,
the
that's
VTuber
buyRaycon.com
stereotype of being a total
/wendigoon
shut-in. I go
open to get
outside
in
every
on this
day.
incredible offer
Cringe,
today.
I know.
Thank you to Raycon
Larper.
for sponsoring
Larp.
the channel. Their link will be in the
Larp.
description, and we are now back to the
Larp.
video. We are going to go ahead and get into it, but
Depends
as
on the
always,
Latino type, the brown
thank
one.
you for watching. So, to appreciate why Alan Pinkerton became such a formidable figure, we have to understand the world he left behind and the one he entered. Born in Glasgow in 1819,
Fucking
Alan grew up in a family that experienced both political turmoil and personal tragedy. His father, William Pinkerton, a police
Central America?
sergeant,
No.
died during a demonstration advocating for universal male voting and broader political rights for the working class. The Chartists, as they were called, were feared
Chartists,
by
the
British
Chuddist.
establishment.
Judd.
Protests were met with
Judd.
repression, and
Judd.
activists faced arrest.
Judd.
In a twist of fate, Allen himself was rumored to have been a government informant, though the evidence for this is
Fucking
ambiguous. Whether he
snitch,
was
I knew
Scotland
it.
because he was wanted by the government for being a Chartist, or if the rumors
Chuddist.
were true or believed to be true, and his fellow activists no longer trusted him. Either way, his immigration in 1842 was a turning point in his life. Allen carried with him both the trauma of witnessing state violence and a willingness to challenge authority. These experiences would compound and inform his commitment to law enforcement and his readiness to operate outside government
fuck.
structures when he deemed it necessary. Settling near Chicago, Allen Pinkerton found himself in a
Look,
boomtown
I have such a
built on
fucking headache all
railroads
of a
and
sudden. That
commerce.
sucks.
With no national currency, residents relied on privately issued banknotes known as wildcat money.
Wildcats, get your head in the game.
If there's no universal currency and the towns are deciding their own currency, well, who's to say I don't show up and suddenly have a bunch of my own. To support his family, he worked
He's
as
got
a
a
cooper,
point.
which is
He's
a
got a
skilled
point. He's got a
craftsperson
pooper.
who made and repaired wooden barrels and casks. The trade took him into the countryside for timber and into markets where he saw the confusion.
All right, hold
that
up,
these
Mr. Goon.
proprietary currencies
Goon,
caused.
please hold. I need to get myself some ibuprofen. Ibuprofen all night, bro. No, no. Hey, I'm gonna get myself some ibuprofen, and I will be right back. So as it turns out, I don't have ibuprofen, so we're just gonna raw dog this shit. Okay? Okay.
But more on that later.
Shut
Alan's
up.
connections with
Loyalty-free
abolitionists
music that
not
I play in
only
the
let him
background.
quietly convert his cooper shop into a stop on the Underground Railroad, but also taught him how to
What happened?
operate
I suddenly have a
Those
headache,
lessons
and I went to
proved
go find
invaluable
ibuprofen.
when later in 1847,
I do not have
He
ibuprofen.
ventured onto an island in the Fox River to collect
I be
timber
fucking
and
profen all
came
night.
across
I can't be
counterfeiters.
profen all night,
He watched
apparently.
their operation, notified the sheriff, and helped plan the
Finally
raid. The
sneeze.
resulting
Bless
arrest
you. You
earned
be
him
what now?
deputy
I be
sheriff's
nothing.
post
I don't
in
have
County,
ibuprofen. I
brought him
can't
into
prof all
contact with
night.
businessmen who would
It's
soon
fucking
hire him to investigate
literally
crimes.
1984.
By 1850, Alan Pinkerton and Chicago attorney Edward Rucker formalized their collaboration under the banner of the Northwest Police Agency. Their detectives did more than catch counterfeiters. They also served as armed guards for the railroads and banks, two crucial entities for connecting a young and developing nation. People need to get somewhere, and they need to have
Was it
money when
everything
they
you
get
hoped
there.
for and more?
Among
I
the
hope it was like a
Pinkertons' early
satisfying
clients was the
sneeze
Adams
that like
Express Company, a private courier service
it like
that
cleared
moved
up both
cash and
nostrils for
parcels
you.
by stagecoach
And it was
rail
loud.
across
It
vast
woke the
distances.
dead.
This meant they were moving large sums of money through remote depots and isolated
tinkled a
tracks,
little-
so it helps to have guards with
Okay,
you.
that's a bit
Keeping
much.
those shipments safe demanded more than
Shipments.
one bank clerk. So Adams Express turned to Pinkerton's men for
Adam.
protection and investigative muscle. In this way, the agency's business model married crime fighting with corporate security, laying the groundwork for an enterprise that would soon expand nationwide. At first, Allen offered consistent fee
Curse with the piss
structures and
smell.
insisted on meticulous record
Mods.
keeping. This prevented
Put up an
the
air
corruption
freshener.
associated with reward-based thief takers, or bounty hunters. Because of
Bounty
this,
hunter.
detectives for the agency were
Bounty
paid
hunter.
a per-day
Why don't we have
rate
bounty
rather
hunters
than
anymore? Do we have
organized
bounty hunters
bounties
anymore? I
or
feel like we need to bring those back.
incentives to
That'd be
fabricate
pretty
crimes.
epic.
Around this time, it wasn't uncommon for bounty hunters to
Oh,
commit
but
crimes and then
trusting the
blame them
modern
on someone
public with,
else,
but
or to
with
have a
bounties
fall
is
guy
we really
commit a
didn't.
small
Didn't
crime
ask.
who eventually
Didn't ask,
the
buddy.
reward money will be split with. But
Oh
since
well,
the
you
Pinkertons
technically
were paid
have
by the
bounty
day,
hunters.
well, that
Didn't
meant
ask.
there
Shut
was
up.
no incentive to keep this con going.
I want old
Pinkerton
style
also
yeehaw
had a
bounty
strict
hunters.
Code of conduct. Agents had to possess spotless
Bail officers, not
reputations,
bounty hunters, not good
refrain
enough.
from inducing crimes and avoid entrapment. This emphasis on
I want to pull out the
professionalism
lasso,
distinguished the agency
drag him on
from
my
its
horse.
reputable detectives and earned it contracts that expanded its reach beyond Illinois. By the early 1860s, Allen's detectives were traversing the country by rail and horseback to investigate crimes, protect property, and gather intelligence. One key to the agency's success was Allen's obsession with record keeping. He built one of the earliest centralized
Only want Gerard
files
Butler
on
as my bounty
criminals,
hunter. You could
an
take me.
unprecedented
Yeah,
collection
blah
of
blah. Oh
mugshots,
no,
physical
she's talking about a hot
descriptions,
guy
and
taking her
dossiers
in.
that
Oh
his
wow,
detectives
didn't see that one
consult
coming.
across jurisdictions. In an era before
Fucking Gerard
fingerprinting
Butler.
or standardized police records, such a resource
Oh
was
yeah,
revolutionary.
shut
Unless
up.
someone recognized you, you could just go to the
Puh,
next town
I
over
spit
and
on
have
you.
small
Puh,
communication.
puh.
This strategy demonstrated Allen's foresight. He understood that data
That
was
was North
power,
Dakota,
that
if
controlling
anything.
information
That's not
meant
Canadian.
controlling narratives.
Never
The
call
probe
me
not
something
only
like a
helped his agents
maple leaf
recognize and
again.
apprehend repeat offenders, but it became a selling point when courting clients. Pinkerton could argue that his detectives
No,
were better informed than
Canadians
the local
sound like they're
sheriffs,
from
which
North
made them more
Dakota.
effective. That reputation for thoroughness drew high-profile contracts and placed the agency at the center of some of the most dramatic events in U.S. history. But Alan Pinkerton was as much a public relations strategist as he was a detective.
we are so
he understood the clients
fucked.
would entrust their secrets and money only to a brand that they perceived as professional, trustworthy, and relentless. To cultivate that brand, Allen embarked on a publishing spree. Between 1875
Publish
and
these
1884,
pinkers.
he released 17 storybooks. Each volume featured the agency's
That is
logo
a
of the
big
wide
fucking
awake
ass
eye
book.
and the slogan, "We never sleep," reinforcing
Hey,
brand
that's my
recognition. The
motto.
stories
Ha
inside
ha
were a
ha
blend
ha
of
ha.
fact and fiction, depicting Pinkerton detectives as resourceful heroes who anticipated criminals' every move. One chapter, for instance, might describe the delicate art of stealing from hotel guests without waking them. Another might detail how pickpockets would clean out wallets and then return them so victims remained unaware. These anecdotes serve a dual purpose. They entertain readers and also showcase the craft of detection, thereby legitimizing Pinkerton's claimed expertise. Almost like Dr. John Watson writing about his adventures with Sherlock Holmes.
Elementary,
The
my
stories
dear
presented his
Watson.
detectives as resourceful heroes, always one step ahead of criminals. And having the heroes of the story be Pinkertons and the Pinkerton agency publishing the books themselves, everything you read about comes
propaganda.
from them and reinforces the idea
Propaganda.
that they can stop these things. Yet Allen used those very books to argue the
Propaganda.
opposite. In prefaces and asides, he scolded, quote, unthinking people for believing that detectives possessed supernatural powers and insisted that real success came from patient observation and, quote, clean, healthy, honest methods. That tension,
well,
feeding the appetite
he's
for
like-
sensational tales while demystifying the work was deliberate. By acknowledging
Yeah, I was
the
gonna
popular
say that's not too
superstition and
bad.
then
That seems
disavowing it,
fine.
Allen positioned his firm as uniquely qualified, exceptional enough to stop any criminal, but grounded
Used to
enough
be honest
to be
methods.
trusted. If the books
And then they
maintained
went
that
after the
Pinkertons were
dogs.
just a step above
And
the
then they
rest,
went
and
after
they
the
had a
dogs.
supernatural ability to stop crime, well, then legitimate clients probably wouldn't be interested because he sounds like a snake oil salesman. But if the Pinkertons emphasize that they're nothing special, they're just good at their job, well, that's the kind of client that a business could trust. And this strategy worked. His book simultaneously
Then they went
advertised
after
his
the Steel
agency and shaped
Strikers.
public perception
And then they
of the
went after the
detectives.
Steel
And
Strikers.
his name became
And they
synonymous with
struck the
private
steel
detection,
so
as
well
competitors
that
rushed
they
to
turned
imitate his
into the
brand tactics.
Steel
Another
Curtains.
important aspect of Pinkerton's marketing was the way he presented gender roles in espionage. He famously employed Kate Warren, widely
Women!
considered to be the first female private detective in the United States. In his writings, Allen highlighted the unique advantage female operatives possessed. They could feign distress to distract male targets, gain access to households under the guise of domestic work, and slip under the radar of those who underestimated her
About the
to
words.
not only be a new outlook on women in unconventional workplace roles, but also as another selling point. His agency was innovative enough to harness the talents of people who would otherwise be ignored. In due time, Allen's skill at crafting
Guy who
compelling
was going
stories
to hire the
intersect with national
Pinkertons
history
until he found
erased
out they
the blurred
employed
lines between
women.
fact and fiction, which we'll get to shortly. All of this talk of detective books and controlling the narrative can be fun when we're all having fun, but not so fun when it becomes propaganda. The outbreak of the American Civil War in 1861 was a crucible for the young detective agency. Rumors of secessionist plots and fears for the president-elect Abraham Lincoln's safety.
Oh, I remember this part. I remember hearing about this recently.
According to his own account, Allen uncovered the Baltimore plot, which was an alleged
Baltimore
conspiracy to
Ravens.
assassinate Lincoln as he traveled to his inauguration.
It was moving
Acting
the
on
Baltimore
intelligence
Colts
gathered
to
by
fucking,
Allen and Kate Ward,
or the
Lincoln's
fucking Cleveland
travel
Browns to
itinerary was
Baltimore.
altered, and he passed through Baltimore incognito. Warren, disguised
That's
as
the
someone
Baltimore
named
plot.
Mrs. Cherry
The plot.
and Mrs. Barley, infiltrated secessionist circles and learned that the agents intended to kill Lincoln as he changed trains. So she purchased 4 sleeping car tickets and accompanied Allen and Lincoln to an overnight journey, pretending to tend to an ill brother. Throughout the trip, Warren remained alert, a living embodiment of the agency's promise that its eyes never closed. Or at least, as claimed by Allen Pinkerton. See, this daring rescue to save Abraham Lincoln's life became a part of Allen Pinkerton's lore, but historians have long debated its legitimacy.
Oh,
Skeptics like
I didn't
Lord
read about
Glenn,
this.
law enforcement officer and personal
I did not
bodyguard
read
to
about
Abraham
this.
Lincoln,
Hi, zombie.
accused Allen of exaggerating fragments of truth in order to get closer with the president. Lemon claimed no arrests were made and suggested that Allen
We're
had
learning about the
harbored a dreadful
Pinkertons.
plot. According to Lemon,
Why is Adam
the
Sandler
president
here?
later regretted the clandestine trip through Baltimore, believing he had fled a phantom threat. If you have a detective agency and you want to get close to the president, well, saying that you found a plot to kill the president and you'll keep him safe is a pretty good way to do that. However, if this was indeed true, eventually, Lincoln at the time certainly did not feel that way. Following the Baltimore trip, Lincoln hired the Pinkerton Detective Agency to organize a secret service for obtaining military intelligence on the Confederacy and sometimes to act as his bodyguards. These efforts predated the official establishment of the United States Secret Service in 1865 and laid the groundwork for modern protective services. So modern bodyguard systems and the United States Secret Service.
I really love the
are based on
fucking.
Lincoln hiring
I really love the
War,
fucking little
Allen
gifs he's just
Pinkerton
throwing in here and
adopted
there.
Major E.
I love the
J.
Wendigoon
Allen
channel because
and
it's just
worked
like a bunch of,
closely
it's like
with
very
General
short
George
stories
His
compared to the
agents
Wendigoon
infiltrated
channel, and then
West
it's like,
Virginia and Kentucky,
here's a picture of Shaq
staging
eating a chicken
sentiments
wing.
and estimating troop strengths. When McClellan took command of the Army of the Potomac,
Ugh.
Allen followed him to Washington, D.C., where he surveilled potential Confederate sympathizers among the capital's social elite. One notorious case involved
Anything
Rose
but
O'Neill
Maryland.
Greenhow, a well-connected socialite.
Their
who
crab
connected
fries don't even have
politics
crab on it.
and passed information to Confederate authorities. Allen placed her under house arrest and later jailed her in the old Capitol prison. Greenhow was eventually convicted of espionage and deported to Richmond, which is such a weird sentence to say. Like, you know, during the Civil War, Virginia was effectively another country, so this person got deported to Virginia. Truly a fate worse than death. Well, these operations they also exemplified the blurred lines between legal prosecution and wartime repression. Operating in a quasi-governmental authority, the Pinkerton Agency conducted
Hold on. Hold on, I need to find this. Can I find this? Can I find this? No, come on, here we go. Oh, wait, I found it.
Shadow Realm, I'm sending you to Tampa, Florida.
I couldn't find the other one. That was the only one I could find. I remember the Shadow Realm. No, I'm sending you to the Bronx. Oh, fuck me.
surveillance, arrest, and interrogations without
You are
further
going
oversight.
to
The Civil War
prison!
also further showcased Allen's Pinkerton's penchant for public
We are
relations.
going to
Photograph taken at
Paris,
Antietam in October
France.
1862 captures President Lincoln standing alongside Allen and General John A. McClernand. This image
That's not a real
symbolized
name.
the agencies
Your
that
name.
has the authority to act
Let me
on
talk
behalf
to
of
you.
the
Let
law.
me buy
Then
you a
you can
drink.
understand why taking a picture of yourself with the president and a general, because you are now the president's personal bodyguard and the guy he hires to keep him safe, would be effective. The war experience validated private detectives as valuable assets to
Like,
the state
oh,
and
my head
provided
hurts so bad.
financial resources, a cachet, that would fuel the agency's post-war expansion. Yet the same qualities that made the Pinkerton Agency so effective in wartime, things like autonomy, secrecy, and readiness to use force, would later make them a source of great controversy. After the Civil War, the nation's attention shifted westward. The railroads continued to expand, and the vast territories of the American West became both an economic frontier and a refuge for lawless gangs. I mean, the country was having trouble policing things in the East. If you were out west where the railroads hadn't made it yet, you could get away with anything. With local law enforcement stretched thin, banks and express companies
Everything
turned to the
revolves
Pinkerton
around
Agency
railroads.
to protect their assets and pursue criminals
Take him
across
to
state
Detroit.
lines. With the
No!
agency
No,
specializing
not
in
Detroit,
tracking train
no!
robbers and stagecoach bandits, the Pinkertons were
stagecoaching it.
essentially acting as bounty hunters for corporate clients. One early challenge came from the Reno
Bounty
Gang of
hunters.
Indiana, pioneers of train robbery in the United States. They targeted the Adams Express Company, who promptly hired
Adam.
detectives to recover its losses and punish the offenders. Almost effortlessly, the Pinkerton Agency
What
captured
the
John
fuck?
Reno and secured his conviction. But as they pursued other members, masked vigilantes intervened by taking
F1
the
is
law
superior,
into their
fuck you,
own
piss boy.
hands.
Okay,
In one
Leaf.
instance, a vigilante committee seized 3 captured gang members from Pinkerton agents and hung them,
Hanged.
had them hung, whatever. Later,
Hanged.
a special
Hanged.
train full of masked men arrived at a
Hanged
jail,
them,
shot the
Mr.
jailer,
Goon.
and hung the remaining Reno brothers, cutting telegraph lines to prevent news from spreading. Allen's own son justified the lynching
My son.
by saying locals were terrorized and eager to eradicate the gang. I mean, people were terrorized by the gang.
Alpha
so the
mods
Pinkertons
take me
show up
out.
to arrest
Mods ain't
members.
here. We're
But to
mano a
communities
mano,
that had a
motherfucker.
personal vendetta against the gang
Now
members,
beg.
well, maybe jailing them
Beg.
wasn't enough.
Beg.
You just bust those guys out of jail so you can kill them yourself. These events underscored the chaotic blend of private and mob justice on the frontier.
Mob
Pinkerton
justice.
agents captured criminals, but community members often circumvented the legal process, leading to summary
Circumcised.
executions. As the agency grew in scale, it operated in a moral gray zone where its pursuits of justice sometimes collided with local vigilantism and the absence of due process. However, no outlaw tested
But
Allen's resolve quite
if
like the
it's
chase
too
of infamous
badass,
James and his
it's okay.
associates. By the early 1870s,
Holy shit, is there a movie
Jesse
about
Frank
this?
James had
Probably a
achieved
Jesse James
Robin
movie,
Hood
I'd
mistake in
assume.
Missouri.
But I would
Robbing
love to
banks
see a
and
fucking
trains
Jesse James versus
captured.
Pinkertons
When
movie.
the gang robbed a train at Gads Hill in 1874,
Hey, Gads.
Adams Express Company once again turned to the Pinkertons.
Banish Lenta
Pinkerton
VTuber hell.
detective
I'm a
James
male
Fletcher
VTuber, dude.
attempted
I'm
to
already
infiltrate
here.
James'
The
household
fuck you
to
mean?
harm him, but he was eventually discovered, as was
I
his body.
spawned in hell and I'm clawing my way up.
Pinkerton were then ambushed, on the resulting in a gunfight that killed a Pinkerton
Jesse
agent, a
James.
local official,
Team
and
Rocket
gang
blasts
members
off
younger.
versus
As
the
you can imagine,
Pinkertons?
these losses enraged Allen. Pinkerton wrote to his staff that blood had been spilled and that the gang must die. Even after the express company withdrew its contract, Allen vowed to continue the hunt as a personal mission. The climactic event came in
On
January
Spice's
of
food. Okay, now that's taking it a
1875,
bit too far.
when
Mods?
Pinkerton agents surrounded the
Make him
James family
sneeze
homestead at night.
without
That
covering
night,
his arm in a
agents
public
tossed
setting.
a specially designed incendiary
Pinkertons
device
just shoot their
intended to
Pokemon.
illuminate the house and frighten the
I think that's canon in like
occupants.
Gen
Think
1.
of it like an 1800s version of a
I think they had
flashlight.
an episode about that
Instead,
actually.
when it came through the window, the family
Through
pushed
the wall?
device into the fireplace where it exploded. This explosion killed the James's boy's younger half-brother and blew off the arm of their mother, Zerelda Samuels. Unfortunately for Allen, Jesse and Frank weren't even in
fucking-
the house. So you had the James
Fuck,
brothers.
you
who
just
were
fucking
outlaws
killed,
and
like,
had
two
this
people for no
persona
fucking
around them.
reason.
Then the Pinkertons, fueled by personal revenge, go to their house and end up killing a young boy and blowing off the arm of an innocent woman, only for it to be revealed that the people they were looking for weren't even there. Public outrage, naturally, erupted like a volcano. What was supposed to be a precise arrest turned into a brutal, bungled raid that maimed innocents and galvanized sympathy for the outlaws. Newspapers condemned Pinkerton's heavy-handedness.
The Pinkerton
and residents of
bomb
Missouri
actually
who
kinda goes
already
crazy.
resented corporate power rallied behind the James gang. Allen withdrew from the vendetta, and Jesse James would not be killed until 7 years later in 1882,
He's
when a member of his own gang betrayed him. If that wasn't enough,
I didn't know that's how
Allen's
Jesse James
pursuit
died.
of Butch Cassidy and the Wild Bunch in the 1890s also revealed the thin balancing act between persistence and overreach.
Is there a good
Detective
Jesse
Charlie
James
Serino
movie out there?
spent
I kind of
years
want to
tracking
watch something
Cassidy
on
and
him.
his gang,
I actually
forcing
realize
them
that I
into
don't
constant
know much
motion.
about
The
Jesse
agency
James.
collected rare photographs
Not
of
like they
gang
necessarily
associates
teach that in
like
school.
at Place, showing a sophisticated intelligence network that rivaled government services.
Send
But
the feds
Cassidy
to Lynn's
ultimately
house.
escaped to South
I'm already a
America,
VTuber.
where
I'm
he was
already a Fed.
captured. The Wild Bunch remained charismatic rebels in the
Wow,
imagination
bunch.
of the public.
I love
while
the
Pinkerton
fucking
agents
goofiness of
were
like
seen as
old-timey,
relentless, often unfair pursuers. Needless to say, the general public's view of the
like
agency
Wild
in the
West gangs.
was, at this point, mixed at best. Law-abiding
So it'd be
citizens
like
and clients
Len
praised the
Meringue
Pinkertons for bringing order
and his
retrieving stolen
Fritzy
property.
skipping
Many in the frontier
boys.
community saw
Wanted
outlaws
for
as folk
32
heroes
counts
who
of
defended
murder,
local honors
72
against
counts of
distant
stagecoach
Pinkerton
robbery,
agents were often labeled
1
as paid
count
assassins,
of
tools
horse
the
thievery.
railroads. This dichotomy, heroes to some, villains to
God,
others,
fuck.
would only intensify even
Put a
more
cap on
when
it.
the agency turned its
Look,
focus
keep
from
some of those
chasing
thoughts
criminals
inside,
to
buddy.
suppressing labor movements. Wow, would you look at this? Something that started with the best intentions would then turn to corruption. It is as if there is a paved road with intentions, and I can't remember where the road goes that is paved with good intentions, but I'm sure it's somewhere good and not bad. Right. The Industrial Revolution transformed the United States in the late 19th century. Factories multiplied.
Stole a
railroads
wallet once?
crisscrossed
Mods, kill
the
him.
continent, and heavy industry reshaped urban
I never stole a
landscapes.
wallet.
With these developments,
I found
came
a
new
wallet on a
social
bus
conflicts
once,
like long
and then I
hours, dangerous
looked at the
conditions, and exploitative
person's
wage
ID,
systems.
and
In
then
the
I looked them
coalfields
up
of
on social media, and I
Pennsylvania,
messaged
many
them,
miners
and I gave them the
immigrants
wallet
who
back.
faced
You
discrimination.
can't kill
These
me!
workers were often paid in
You
cash
shoot,
and
GI!
credit,
You
redeemable
shoot!
only at company stores, effectively binding them to their employers. I mean, you work
You're
for
fed,
years
and
of
it'd
your
be
life
like,
and get paid monopoly money that you can
Len
then pay for
Meringue
the monopoly
and
store.
lemon
So if you wanna find a job
squeezers.
somewhere else, good luck starting over.
300
Wives
dead
feared
bodies
daily
lay
for
in
their
their
husband's
wake.
safety. And there were instances
Where he's
bodies
wanted
returned to
dead
families
or
without
alive
family.
with
Laborers
any
and
of his
organizers
gang
formed unions to speak to
associates.
societies to demand better conditions. Industrialists, fearing lost profits and
Oh,
sabotage,
God.
search for
The
ways to
union.
undermine these
Not them.
movements. The Pinkerton Agency, with its reputation for infiltration and force, became the go-to instrument for corporations seeking to control their workforce. One of the earliest and most notorious interventions involved the Molly Maguires. The Mollies were not just a shadowy
Oh,
club in the
shit, they're
hills,
on the
but a
Molly,
loose
baby.
coalition of
Now we're
Irish
fucking cooking.
miners and their supporters.
Miners?
Many fled the Great Famine
Not on
and
my
British
screen.
Depression, only to find themselves in Pennsylvania company towns where the mines paid them in scrip, leased them cramped housing, and left their families perpetually indebted. Discriminated against for being Irish and Catholic, they sometimes responded to dangerous working conditions and exploitation by sending threatening letters to foremen and, in a handful of cases, by carrying out acts of violence. Local
That's not
elites
as funny.
christened this
I was gonna say they
resistance
just
as
wrote
Molly
strongly worded
Maguires,
letters.
borrowing a name that originally came from secret societies in Ireland. Allen assumed that the American Molly Maguires were an extension of Irish
My
secret
name is
societies,
Molly
though the
Maguire.
label may have been a
No
convenient catch-all
relation
for
to
crimes and
Lizzie.
conspiracies. So to infiltrate this hidden world, Allen deployed James
Oh.
McParland, who adopted the alias of James McKenna and embedded himself.
Wait, why do I
in
know
mining
James
communities
McKenna?
From 1873
Why do I know the name
to
James McKenna?
1876.
Is he important?
McParland attended union meetings, observed rituals, and built relationships, all while reporting back to his handlers. His assignment culminated in 20 miners being arrested and executed
Miners?
for murder and conspiracy.
Kill
The
them.
Molly Maguire operation reveals the ethical complexities of Pinkerton methods. According to critics, McParland provoked or allowed violence to occur to strengthen the case against his targets. During his assignment, the number of threats,
During his
usually in the
assignment.
form of letters to mine bosses allegedly signed by the Mollies, experienced a sudden
Miners
spike.
on Molly. That's
Obviously,
crazy.
undercover guy shows
Molly's-
up, and
I
in
guess
the
Molly's
group
on the
gets really
miners.
Violent. This raised
Cringe.
suspicion that some of them had
Arrest
been
everybody in this
This
situation.
infiltration also
Disgusting.
bled into
SMH my
extrajudicial
head.
violence. In August of 1875, Allen wrote to his superintendent urging the formation of a vigilante committee to take, quote, fearful
Why don't we
revenge
take
on the
pictures like that
Mollies. In
anymore?
December
Can
of
can
that
we just
year,
do
a
that?
vigilante raid
Can we go back to
occurred at Wigan's
taking
Pass.
like Civil
30
War
masked
era
men,
stoic
acting on
straight ahead
intelligence
pictures
from
like fucking
McParland, attacked the
quarter
home of
profiles
James
like
and Charles O'Donnell, pistol whipping their mother, and shooting their sister. McParland, being the undercover agent who gave this information,
Shake my head,
was
yes, that's what
outraged that
SMH
women
my
were
head means.
harmed,
Thank you.
But felt that male victims, quote,
Thank you,
got
Texan.
their just deserving. The violence set the stage for a series of trials that were, by any fair measure, a travesty. An attorney named Franklin Gowen and other coal company lawyers prosecuted the case themselves. The state supplied only the courtroom and the gallows, so the entire trial was being held by the coal companies who these people were acting against, allegedly. Many of the 20 miners who were hanged were convicted on the strength of McParland's testimony alone, with little or no independent defense. Judge John P. Lavelle later called the proceedings a, quote, surrender of state sovereignty.
I read
noting
that
the private
asset.
corporation had investigated, arrested, and essentially prosecuted its own employees. While the industrialists celebrated the suppression of the Mollies as a triumph of law and order, many labor advocates and Irish Americans saw it as an industry-backed frame-up.
It is a travesty that that word is dying out, Texan. You're absolutely correct.
Fabricated or encouraged crimes to justify their presence.
My jaw
They
actually
noted the violence
unhinges.
attributed to the Mollies escalated only
Unhinge.
after McParland arrived. These accusations
Never
remain
mind.
largely
That would have been really
confined to
mean. I
local
apologize.
circles,
I'm sorry,
and the
Nibs. You
broader
don't deserve
public
that.
was slow to sympathize. Nevertheless, the operation proved a template for how Pinkertons would engage with labor conflicts. Emboldened by success and spurred by profit, the agency expanded its union infiltration and
Alpha mods,
strike-breaking
take me out to
activities
let me be
throughout
free.
the
Mods,
1880s.
make him stay
The list
here.
of strikes involving Pinkertons
Make him deal with
reads
me
like
for
a
another
chronicle
at
of the
least
labor movement.
19
In
minutes.
1884, the Hawking
No! No! Knives!
protesters
Oh, you gave him what he wanted!
guards were hired to
No!
protect company property and ensure that replacement workers could continue operations. Clashes ensued, resulting
Leave
in
him
the
here.
destruction of property and injuries. That same year, Alan Pinkerton died unceremoniously after slipping on wet pavement and biting his tongue, which led to gangrene. That's right, the head of the Pinkerton agency died because he bit his tongue when he
What a
fell. His death was
fucking
both
Looney
mundane
Tunes
and
way to
ironic.
go out.
The man
What?
survived political uprisings, treacherous outlaws, and wartime espionage.
But
succumbed
fucking
to an everyday accident. In
Yes, fucking
1885,
slipped on a banana peel on the way,
Royal
fucking
to
ice
form
cube on the way into the
strike
salty
in
splatoon.
Chicago. As Pinkerton men approached the factory, bystanders jeered at them. The agents responded by
Why after
firing into
trying
the
to
crowd,
riz
killing
knives?
several people. Though 4
Omegas
Pinkerton
can't
men were
riz
indicted,
alphas. It's in
prosecutors
the rule
declined
book.
to pursue
The
the
alphas
case.
have to do the
violence
riz.
escalated in subsequent years. In 1886,
Rest in
during
peace.
a railway strike at the Lakeshore Railroad,
Uh-oh.
guards hired by the Pinkertons, similar to the year before, fired into a crowd, killing a protester. It happened again a month later, during the stockyard strike, this time killing a bystander. Despite eyewitness testimony, the grand jury failed to indict the agents. In 1887,
What's an Omega? It
United
means you're
Labor
breedable,
Party
brother.
issued a statement condemning the agency as a wandering band of murderers. Labor leader Terrence Powderly decried Pinkerton men as outcasts from society.
Oh.
Prior to Saxon,
I love the honest
they
answer
argued
from
that
fucking Texan.
industrialists employed them because they lacked faith
It's the
in their
last is
own
oh.
managerial abilities, preferring to
I'm
outsource
glad you had
quote,
no. Knives is
delicate
an
and
expert on
important
this.
work
She's
to
giving me a
human
fucking
beings.
rundown
Powderly
yesterday.
further contended that the existence of the agency depended on creating fear among the wealthy, that without conjuring threats, the Pinkertons would have no purpose.
Your
While the
friends, the
leader of the Labor
Pinkertons,
Party would undoubtedly
come
carry some
rescue
biases,
you.
Powderly was not alone. The Nation magazine declared that the appearance of Pinkerton men in any civilized country would fill the population with shame. It described the agency as a band of mercenaries and a sign of social regression, likening them to medieval barbarism.
my pussy's
By
fertile.
1888, the
You
term
let the
Pinkerton
alpha deal
had
with
become
that one.
shorthand for any armed guard or vigilant group employed by American industrialists. The agency's armed presence in labor disputes was so common that Pinkerton men were equated with strikebreakers in general. Critics argued that the agency's success in infiltrating and suppressing unions depended
a furry
on
thing?
fabricating
No.
conspiracies and instigating
No.
violence.
Is it? Wait,
was
Knives,
common
is that a
belief
furry
if
thing you would
Pinkertons
know?
Investigate someone, there will be arrest and execution.
Make us leak arousal from their ass. It can be, okay. Leak arousal from their ass, lubricated up, and have reproductive abilities and carrying gender.
Or
Oh.
get them to commit a crime that they can then
I'm gonna try to
convict them
out
for.
ASMR
In
me
essence,
twinkle
the
piss. I'm gonna
Pinkertons
get
became
you.
a private army available
like to see
to
you
those
try.
with the means to hire them. This
try.
escalated labor
Like to see you
conflicts
try.
and undermined trust in law enforcement. This incendiary environment set the stage
Incendiary.
for the most infamous confrontation in the agency's history. The Homestead Strike. The Homestead Strike
Miami?
of 1892 stands as a watershed moment in both labor history and the history of the Pinkertons. The strike erupted at the Homestead
Remember I
Steel
explained
Works
that?
in
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, owned by Andrew Carnegie's Carnegie Steel Company. Carnegie, often depicted as a philanthropist and industrial visionary,
It's very
left
common.
day-to-day
Oh, well, yeah,
management
that makes
in the
sense.
hands of Henry Clay
Animal
Frick,
features.
a hardline executive known for his tough stance
Oh,
on
I'm
unions.
blowing this
the
goon
workers
set.
were
Yeah.
members of the Amalgamated Association
Not
of Iron and Steel
quite the
Workers,
phrase you
one
want to
of the
use, but
strongest trade
go
unions
ahead,
of the
bottom
time.
boy.
Negotiations
Enjoy
over
your breeding
wages
session.
and working conditions broke down, and Frick decided to force the issue. He erected a 12-foot fence around the mill,
No
complete
fucking
with
way that the
rifle
trash can
loopholes,
already got
water
taken
mains
out.
capable of blasting scalding
it's
water,
not supposed to
and
come until
electrified
8.
wires. Workers dubbed the fortified factory Fort Frick, a name that signified
Okay.
both their resentment and their recognition that they were facing a
Frick.
military-style operation.
Frick.
Behind the scenes, Frick secretly negotiated with the Pinkerton Agency to hire 300 armed guards. He intended to break the union by reopening the plant with replacement workers. And on July 6, 1892, 2 barges carrying Pinkerton men approached the mill via the Monongahela River. Strikers had been watching the river and were prepared, and when the barges arrived, a confrontation ensued. And by confrontation, I mean a gunfight. The crowd on the shore traded shots with men aboard the ship and vice versa. After 14 hours of fighting at Homestead, the Pinkerton agents, trapped on their barges, hoisted a white flag. The crowd refused at first, but eventually a union leader negotiated a surrender. The agents were disarmed, marched through the town, and forced to run a gauntlet of jeering residents who bested them. The battle left 9 strikers
Throw tomatoes at
and
him.
3 Pinkertons
Wait, I have
dead,
tomatoes. I want to make a
nearly
sandwich after
every
the stream's
agent
over.
wounded. The strikers cheered at this, but you could imagine
Wait, I
how
have
the
fucking
state
roast
of
beef.
Pennsylvania
Fuck, I'm
felt
gonna
about
eat some
this.
good
The
shit after
strikers'
stream.
victory was
Oh!
short-lived. Within days,
I got fucking
Pennsylvania's
public bread.
governor
Oh,
ordered state militia
I'm so
to
fucking excited to
Homestead.
eat
The
after
troops
stream.
escorted locked train cars of replacement workers into the mill, and the strike dragged on for 4 months.
I just remembered something, too.
collapsing. The workers returned without union representation. Homestead's defeat
Pelted
showed
rocks
that
him,
even a
clubbed him,
strong
kicked him.
union
Strikers
could be
weren't all
broken
good.
when
Well,
private force and state intervention
to be
combined.
fair,
Public reaction to the Homestead confrontation.
they were just shooting at each other, so
Newspapers questioned
I feel like that's
morality
about
of hiring a
expected.
Private army. And the New York Times investigation alleged that the Pinkerton reserves were recruited from petty criminals compelled to serve as strikebreakers. The image of
I wonder
armed
if that
barges
Carnegie is the
and
same
militarized
guy.
factory ignited a national debate
I gotta
about
look
the
at
role
this.
of private security in labor disputes. Within a few years, public opinion shifted. What had been seen as a moral force protecting society became a despised tool of capital. Sure, a lot of the problems people had with working conditions came down to the industries that were hiring them and enacting these conditions and the state that allowed them to carry on like this. But the Pinkertons were always the arm that the state and the industry would use, so they got a lot of the hate, as you can imagine. Unionists seized the moment to condemn the agency. At Senate hearings on labor violence, workers testified that the English language was, quote, inadequate to express the hate that they felt towards Pinkerton.
Now there, so
One
I've told you guys before. I went to Penn State because I was gonna originally keep that secret from you, but I post about fucking Penn State during football season. It's pretty obvious where I went. But there, I believe they're one of the buildings there. I forget which. Well, I mean, obviously which, but it's like named Carnegie. I didn't know if it was named after Andrew Carnegie, which I think it is. That I'm looking at it. I never knew, but I think it was. Industrialists, entrepreneurs, and philanthropists corresponding to the Carnegie Steel Company. Okay, so yeah, I guess it was. Look at that.
Called the hiring of
Interesting.
Pinkertons, quote, an unjust and unlawful way of forcing us into submission. Yet the hearings also gave space to industrialists to explain why they turned to the agency. In the eyes of Henry Clay Frick, local law enforcement could not protect the property or the non-union workers he planned to hire, and he believed he had a right to keep the mill running. Robert Pinkerton himself, son of Alan Pinkerton, testified that his men were simply hired to maintain order and defend property. But
gonna
his defense
come
could not
and
stem the
rescue
tide of public
you.
condemnation. I mean, people are mad that your people shot at strikers who wanted better working conditions. It's not a good idea to be like, well, think of the money. I mean, we've been trying to protect the money. Isn't that what we all want? The fallout from Homestead reached the halls of Congress. A House committee investigated, taking testimony from law enforcement officials, capitalists, and workers. Their final report concluded that the Pinkertons had grown into a private military force under the control of whoever could afford their services. The committee recommended
That's kind of
restoring
awesome, though.
state
So, like,
authority
maybe
over labor
stop hating on the Aura
rather
farm.
than relying on
You know,
private
maybe just be
interests.
better.
In other words, when these issues arise in the future, the state should decide what happens rather than the company just hiring a bunch of bullies to make everyone quit. As a direct response, Congress passed the Anti-Pinkerton Act in 1893, prohibiting the federal government from hiring employees of private detective agencies like Pinkerton. 23 states enacted similar laws. The act didn't shut down Pinkerton, but it curtailed the agent's federal work and signaled that policing belonged to the public. After Homestead, many factory owners tried to head off labor unrest by tinkering with their own operations. Some embraced scientific management, measuring every motion on the shop floor and training employees to follow the one best way to do a job, believing that
there's only one way to do a job, and it's the right way, boy.
Others turned to benevolent industrialism, building paternalistic company towns like Pullman, Illinois, where brick houses, parks,
Carnegie wasn't even in the country at the time. He was in Scotland, and the strikers still tried to blame him for the deaths of the steel mill, and the guys called the Pinkerton. The Pinkertons! Well, you know, you got your name on the building. I guess they're going to be pissed at you for it.
The workers struck in 1894. President Grover Cleveland sent federal troops to suppress it, resulting in more fatalities. The pattern of violence followed by state intervention persisted, and the Pinkertons became symbols of an era when private force was used to confront public dissent. I mean, I have an entire video on the main channel about one of the most famous strikes in American
fucking
history,
cold warning right now, bro.
The private agency involved there wasn't the Pinkertons, but it's certainly their ramifications. Issues like this existed outside of the Pinkerton agency. Pinkertons were just the ones to do it first, and therefore the ones whose names are most associated. The Homestead disaster and the Anti-Pinkerton Act marked a new turn of the tide, and in the 20th century, the agency faced a changing environment. Local and state police forces professionalized, adopting techniques such as centralized record keeping and interstate communication that Pinkerton had pioneered. In 1908, the federal government established the Bureau of Investigation, later known, of course, as the Federal Bureau of Investigation, or the FBI, to conduct national law enforcement. The creation of the FBI reduced the government's reliance on private detectives, while signaling an ideological shift.
And surely, nothing bad ever happened with the FBI.
Not to serve the interest of whoever has the most
private
money.
government entity.
But it does a lot in reality, but that's not what's on the label anymore. Additionally, the Anti-Pinkerton Act restricted the agency's ability to secure federal contracts, which had been profitable during the Civil War. The combination of legal constraints and improved public policing diminished the agency's central role. The decline in violent strike-breaking did not mean an immediate end to Pinkerton's involvement in labor conflicts. In the 1930s, Senator Robert La Follette launched an investigation into the use of private detectives as labor spies. Robert Pinkerton II, Allen's great-grandson,
this is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
That companies had paid the agency $1.75 million for espionage services since 1933. In other words, companies were paying the Pinkertons a lot of money to act as spies in their own workforce. He admitted that Pinkerton operatives were embedded in practically
I understood this reference.
9 in the United Rubber Workers, 17 in the United Textile Workers, and 55 in the United Auto Workers. The agency even spied on the Assistant Secretary of Labor during a 1935 strike. These revelations embarrassed the Pinkertons, and in 1937, the company vowed to end its labor investigations. By then, the political climate had shifted. The Wagner Act had granted workers the right to unionize, and public opinion favored collective bargaining. Violent strike-breaking was no longer acceptable. Courts and federal agencies intervened.
I'll show you some strike breaking, baby.
Arbitration to resolve disputes. Facing declining relevance,
the use of an arbiter.
Labor espionage, the agency reinvented itself. In the 1920s and beyond, it offered asset protection, uniformed guard services, and corporate fraud investigations. By the 1960s, the term detective was dropped from the company's branding, and it simply became Pinkerton. The shift signaled a move toward risk management and corporate security rather than privatized sleuthing. This strategy proved effective. By 1995, yes, like 30 years ago, the agency employed 50,000 people across 250 offices worldwide. It was no longer a gun-toting detective bureau, but a modern security firm providing services such as guarding office buildings, investigating insurance claims.
Do the Pinkertons still exist?
Espionage countermeasures. In 1999, the Swedish security conglomerate, Securitas AB, acquired the Pinkerton agency for approximately $384 million.
They still fucking exist? I thought they fucking went defunct, bro. I thought their fucking goofs back then would have fucked it up. What do you mean, dumbass? Sorry, they're not exactly around in the public eye anymore.
Robert. Even after its transformation,
Fucking dumbass.
first,
They protect
it
the
remains a
office
symbol
building I don't
of
have.
corporate oppression. The historical memory of Pinkerton agents firing into crowds and infiltrating unions
Pull it up,
resonates
Jamie.
in contemporary struggles over workers' rights. In some circles, Pinkerton is still used as a nickname
Also,
for heavy-handed corporate security.
Just a note. Also the name of a very, very fantastic Weezer album.
When reports emerged in 2020 that Amazon hired Pinkerton operatives to spy on warehouse workers in Spain, the reaction was swift outrage.
Pinkerton
That's right.
Consulting.
kids. The more
Oh, wait,
things
that's
change,
pretty
the
epic.
more
I'm
they
looking at
stay
their
the
website.
same.
They still have photos of
Amazon,
way back when.
2020, a few years ago, hiring Pinkertons to spy on workers sounds like it came out of some futuristic, dystopian Blade Runner sci-fi world, but it's the one we're living in, for better or worse.
I
Although
pink
today
her a ton.
Pinkertons operate with legal frameworks and presumably without the use
I
of
pink her a
gunboats
ton,
and cannons,
but she protects
presumably,
my
the idea that
agency.
private agencies monitor workers' organizing efforts is a reminder of a long history of
Services,
conflict. And the
on-site
underlying
protection,
methodology of
executive
Pinkerton's
protection.
earlier days
High net
still
worth
resonates
individuals.
with modern law enforcement.
I'm
When
a
the
high net
FBI
worth
was
individuals.
created in 1908, it absorbed Allen's innovations like centralized records and interagency communication. But it may have inherited some of the agency's tactics as well. In the post-9/11 era, the Bureau dispatched informants in communities, sometimes
11.
devising fake plots and supplying
Len, what's my
targets
IQ?
before swooping in to make
I didn't
arrests.
play a lot of
Critics say these
IQ
sting
when I was
operations, which were
doing
championed
Siege. I
as,
mostly
quote,
played
forward-leaning
oh,
preventative
what was that guy's
prosecutions
name? He
to
had the
ostensibly
little
prevent
he had the
terrorism,
little things
blurred
that
the line
pop
between surveillance
and you
provocation,
throw them and they like
ensnaring
poke them
people who might
and it
never
like
have
and it like
acted
does
without
tick
government
damage.
encouragement. That this occurred
be
during the time
shot.
of paranoia
Damn,
and hostility towards Islam practicing
Damn.
Americans was not lost on anyone.
All right,
As
guys,
Linda's
calm
talked about
down.
this post-Pinkerton federal entrapment, then the list is nearly endless. The same questions arose in 2020 when federal prosecutors announced a plot to kidnap Democrat Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer at the hands of right-wing extremists, weeks before the presidential election. Headlines proclaim
This is a very insane photo, and it's like, yes, Pinkertons pertaining to this. It's like that's fucking boggling my mind a little.
this was
Play
evident
Siege.
that
I
right-
played Siege from when did it come out? Like fucking 2015 or something? Because I loved Rainbow Six Vegas 1 and 2, and I was like, holy shit, another Rainbow Six game. I'm so fucking excited. And then I got it, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Where are the terrorism? Where's the terrorism? I only see fucking hero shooters. And then I stopped playing for a long time. And then COVID happened. And then I started playing again because what the fuck else was I going to play at that point in time? And then I was good at it. And then I was good at it until I got high enough in competitive. And then I was no longer good at it. And then I was like, you know what? This game actually is not fun at all. And then I went on to play something else. Something else being NASCAR emulators. I mean, I play NASCAR games on the PlayStation 2. Ready or Not is better, but Ready or Not isn't like competitive. It's like PvE, and also I like the concept of Ready or Not. I just haven't played it in a while. My old PC couldn't handle it very well. This PC probably could handle Ready or Not very well. Which reminder, I believe our next. No, it's not. We are our $300 goal is a Ready or Not community stream where I play with some of you guys, Texan, dark, and play play Ready or Not on stream. Incentives. The one after next is a community stream. Is that it? Oh yeah, okay. So I totally lied to you. I fucking lied to you. It's 75. So we're at 25. We're at like 125 or no, we're at 126 right now. So we need $49 redoodles. $49 redoodles to get to Ready or Not. Shoot the new guy. I already played the game. I'm not a new guy, motherfucker. If you shoot me, I will kick you out of the game and then I will keep playing by myself. Bitch. Ain't about that fucking bullshit. Go jump somebody else in.
Leaning politics gave way to violent extremism, but it soon became clear that such a plot would never have been planned without the FBI's direct involvement. Of the 26 or so men who participated, At least 12 were FBI informants, some of whom took the lead and pushed others into moving forward with it.
Oh my
From just
fucking
these
eyes.
two examples, with
I'm getting
many
old,
more
man.
certainly in existence, it's clear that the clandestine
I look at my
methods
screen for
against
2
the modern
hours and I'm like,
McGuires
fuck, it's so
remains alive
Joker.
today. And the debate over whether they protect the public or undermine justice
Customization unlocked
continues
probably
regardless of what
nothing.
political faction is in the crosshair.
I
The
played a
Pinkerton
few, but like
story
I said,
also
my
endures
game
in
couldn't
popular
fucking,
culture.
or my PC couldn't
Sir
handle
Arthur
it.
Conan Doyle drew inspiration from James
Arthur
McFarlane's
Conan
infiltration
Doyle.
of the Molly McGuires when writing one of the Sherlock Holmes
Then you're
novels,
new, then
The Valley
you
of
sit
Fear.
out of
The
community
unblinking
night. How about
eye
that?
logo has become an icon of
Crack a
private
cold one,
protection
crack
and espionage,
yourself.
appearing on T-shirts and even in the branding of fictional detective agencies. Not to mention that the term "private eye" comes directly from this logo and this
Private
motto.
eye.
The dichotomy between myth and
Cheap
reality
private on my
persists
eye.
to this day. On one hand, Pinkertons are portrayed as tireless defenders of order, and on the other, they're seen
Let
as
me get a look
embodiments
at that
of ruthless
private eye,
corporate
baby
power.
girl.
This duality ensures that the agency's legacy remains contested, and one can't deny.
Oh fuck, my model disappeared.
Institutions often evolve in unexpected ways. Ellen Pinkerton fled political repression in Scotland, helped fugitives in the Underground Railroad, and built a detective agency that promised to uphold justice. Yet by the late 1800s, his agency was suppressing labor movements and serving corporate interests that
Hold on.
exploited
I'll
the
give you
very
your-
workers he might have once championed.
I'll give you
this
your fucking-
inversion shows how goals can shift
What the
as
fuck?
organizations grow.
I'll give
and
you your-
often diverge
wait,
from the
what the
original
fuck?
intent, especially as they gain power. As it's often said, the road
Here.
to hell is paved with good intentions. Oh, there's
I'll give you-
that saying about
I'll give you that back.
intentions and paving roads. It leads to hell, which isn't a good
Hell.
place at all. Allen's tale
Cringe.
also illustrates the dangers of privatizing coercive power. The eventual passage of the Anti-Pinkerton Act shows a recognition that private forces should not wield unchecked authority. Yet the persistence of corporate and government surveillance
fucking back
shows
is
that
hurting
the
so
tension
bad.
between public oversight,
I
private
really need a
security,
new
and the
fucking
rule of law
computer chair,
remains
dude. My
unresolved
back
today.
is
In
so
contemporary
fucked on this
debates
one.
about privatized policing,
It's actually
from
falling apart.
gated communities to corporate data collectors, the
They've had
Pinkerton
it for, like,
example offers cautionary lessons
6
about
years, I
accountability
think. It was
and
2021.
potential
Yeah,
abuse.
so like 5 or
Today,
6
many
years.
of the rights that workers enjoy, such as workday, collective
Yeah,
bargaining,
bite.
and workplace safety
Bite is-
regulations,
I
are taken
showed
for granted.
80-year-old
These
man.
rights were
Shut
won
up!
through struggles that often
I just
involved
have a bad
violence
chair,
and
all right?
suffering from all sides. The Pinkertons were major players in those
The
conflicts,
Pinkertons gonna
sometimes
come and
obstructing
rescue
progress and
you.
sometimes inadvertently accelerating it by provoking backlash. Recognizing this history brings appreciation for the fragile gains of past generations. And when we learn that Amazon's contract with the Pinkertons and the strategy of modern
Cane.
intelligence
Get-
agencies echoes tactics from over a century ago,
Get
it
these
becomes
hands.
clear that the past is never truly past. Indeed, the eye of the Pinkerton logo remains unblinking, fulfilling its promise that the agency would never sleep. That is the controversial yet fascinating history of the Pinkerton Detective Agency. I think this is a fascinating thing to look into. I mean, we've all heard about the Pinkertons, at least if you're familiar with any Old West story or like early 1900s spy narrative. We know they're popular, but a lot of us don't know how they became so popular. And growing up in Appalachia, coal mining towns, I obviously have some bias against them. You know, a lot of friends and family members have stories of their grandparents.
That's
being
actually
shot
kind of
at by
crazy
Pinkertons or some
to
private
think
tech
of,
company.
like, your
But
parents
even
getting
looking
shot
it
at by the
objectively,
Pinkertons.
I
I
think
don't
it's
know, that's
pretty
wild.
clear why the country as a whole turned away from them. Now, did we
Fucking
turn
crazy.
away from things like entrapment and use of force and coercion? You know, who's to say, really? But I think it's a fascinating history and one that should not be forgotten. And I appreciate you sticking around to hear about it. And above all else, thank you for watching. Let us know in the comments.
Hey,
if you enjoyed these
thank you,
historical deep dives. I
Wendigooner.
certainly do, but maybe you're
I
tired of hearing about
appreciate
But if
it.
there's a story that interests you, we can probably find out something about it. So let us know. New videos here Mondays at noon. Again, you can check out the new channel Wendiglitch and the OG channel Wendigoon in the description. Everyone who made this video possible will be credited in the description. Be sure to show them some love. And I believe that should do it for now. But before I go, we just want to say thank you for watching. We hope that you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Rico, hi. Thank you for the hydrate. I will find my water bottle here in a second. Here, let me put on the background music for you, you diddly doodles. Texan, stop redeeming the bottoms up. I'm not drinking today. I'm a good boy. Only reason I drank the rest of that wine was because it was like a fucking centimeter. It wasn't gonna do anything. Drink the water. Oh, fuck you. Pizza shit. Pizza shit. Fuck. Texan. 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 You take that back now. You take that back right now. Mods, eat him alive. No, skin him first, then eat him alive. Oops, wrong one. How dare you? How dare you ever say those words to me? You know how demeaning it is? I'd rather you say worse. I'd rather you say bad words. Thank you, Mr. Goon. Thank you, the Gooner. The wendigooner. The wendispooner. What'd he say? He called me a good boy. I hated it. I actually kind of want him dead for that. I'll be real with you. Mods, block him so he can't continue his 100 streak goal. Don't actually do that. He's okay. He liked it. I will also kill you. Promise. That's peak cinema. Because alright, do I do more or less game? Do I do more or less game to end? I think we do a little more or less game here real quick. Stop telling me how these things work. I know how these things work. I accidentally clicked on the first answer without even looking at it, but I still got it right. Hell yeah. Discord or Hot Wheels? Discord easily. Oh, I gotta get out of your guys' way. Sorry. Movies near me or Hot Wheels? Movies near me. Oh, just barely. Oh my god, I'm so fucking good. Russell Westbrook easily. What? I'm killing myself. Who the... These are fucking AI generated people. Who the fuck is Flo Millie? And who the fuck is fucking Lotto? Like Watto from Star Wars? These are not real humans. Ain't nobody no basketball player. That's a fucking Hall of Famer, motherfucker. They're looking up stats. Flo Millie? Fool! Nobody listens to these people. Fuck you. Kingsmen are Unforgiven. Ooh. 10 milli vanillis of Addy. I'm gonna fucking pop you in the mouth. This has Morgan Freeman. Can't be bad. Oh, just slightly, baby. Super Mario. Okay, you're not beating that. Okay, yeah, okay. That's what I thought. Batman Begins. That's the Nolan one. That's a goodie. Klaus. Wait, fuck. I think Klaus was Claus. I don't know why I'm saying it. Klaus. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. I think that one's rated like pretty highly, but is it going to be higher than 8.2? I don't know. I think this is like an 8.1 or an 8.3. I'm kind of like on the fence. Fuck, I'm putting Batman. Oh my god, I would have got it either way. Okay, well that one's easy. Lego Movie, easy. People actually like that one. The Departed is better than a 7.7. Oh wow, that's a good movie. The Revenant. I think The Departed was better. Just barely though, only half a one. I think The Revenant was better. No! By one, really? Listen, let's be real here. No Way Home was like, that was good, but like, are we really going like 8.1? 8.1? I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was fun, but an 8.1. Are we for real? Be wordless. No. So. Okay, we are not doing great here. Rep. Not doing great. Okay. Gel. Leg. Okay. Wow. I couldn't have gone any better, honestly. The last one. Tor. grasp. Okay. Pars? No. Spar? Okay. That was kind of crazy. Adieu. EU. Close. No. Glow. Gobs? No. Rose. What about Rose? What? Seriously? Okay. Okay. Mower? Tower. No, we're not doing this, please. Power. We're not doing this, please. No, cower. Yes! Holy shit. What the fuck? Please. Only one E. Okay. Dringe. Drint. Drinim? No. Let me see if I can get some vowels out of the way. Ring. Surely there's a word like that, right? Alright, let's just go for a different word instead. Surely I can find mount. Mountie? Okay. I'm not getting great things here. We're not doing fantastic, but we are certainly alive. Fuck. What more can we do here? What do we do? What am I missing? I'm not seeing something. All right, let's try something. Fuck, what am I? Oh, fuck? Can't be a Q. There's no U, so it's Fruke. Wrong. No, that's not even worth it. That's not worth it just for a G, a double G. That'd be kind of dumb. Wow, I fucking missed everyone. That's just checking a C and an M, though. Fuck, I feel like I have to go. That did get nothing for me. Fuck. Why did I do that? Fuck, shit, fuck. Fuck ass, fuck bitch, fuck. Grudge. It's grudge. Okay, did it. We're good. I should have done the double G. No, pleases. That's what I go for. No S and a single E. All right. We'll go threats. Did fucking nothing for us. Okay. Combing. All right, so we got C, E. All right, wait. C, E, A, I, N. And it's not an ing. That's gonna do nothing except eliminate. Fuck it. We send. Okay, that actually worked out. F, N, A. And then we have C, E, I. Fin. Fence. It could be fence. Oh, it can't be an F-I-N? Fanatic? Oh shit, I didn't see that A up there. Fuck, I forgot about that. Okay, we're down to our last one. No, you're good, you're good, you're good. Is it finance? That work? It's our only shot. Oh my god! Let's go! Let's go! Alright, last one. Pleasure. Starts with a P, has an A. The GOAT! Only one E, so we got 4, so Prancing. Holy shit! Pre-R-A blank blank I-E. Practice. Holy shit, that was I'm seeing every equation right now. I'm fucking locked in. Oh my god, that's fucking crazy. All right, let's do the last one here and then we'll go skedaddle somewhere else. We'll go bring our presents elsewhere and I'm going to go fuck up a sandwich. All right, shut up 80s playlist of Tokyo City lo-fi hip hop. Drive by train. Nope. Don't know this song. I'm gonna fuck a sandwich. And you too can watch on my OnlyFans. I don't have one of those. Yeah, I am gonna fuck up a sandwich though. I'm gonna make it. It's gonna have chicken breast and American cheese and lettuce and tomato. I don't have pickles, sadly. Do I have pickles? God, I might have pickles. I fucking love pickles. I don't know this song, unfortunately. I'm not getting this one.
This night is.
Want you to take me down slowly. Wait, do you know this song, Bite? Bite, do you know this song? What's it called? I want you to take me down. It's a TikTok song. What is it? What is it called? Take me down. Is it called Slowly? What's it called, Blight? Please. Please. I need to know. I can't lose this. I need the speed. I need this. Let Me Down Slowly. By Alec Benjamin? I would assume so. That's the only one there. Yay! Thank you, Bite. Thank you, Bicycle. Alright, let's see if I can lock in on the rock. All right, there's nothing fucking there. Are we for real? House of Pain. House of Pain isn't even there. I can't even fucking. All right, yeah, it's Pain by Jimmy Eat World. Yep, sure. Wait, this is a fucking ELO song, I think. This is ELO. I think this is ELO. Electric. Wait, no. Okay. Evil woman. What? Oh, we're so fucked. Can I get any other fucking hint other than fucking pim 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 pim? I don't know. Is this really rock though? I mean, I guess it is by definition, so whatever. I don't know about that. All right, let's lose the hip hop one. It's Jenny in a bottle. Wait, is it? Oh my god, I'm fucking stupid. I thought this whole fucking time I thought it was Jenny in a bottle. It's fucking Genie in a bottle. I'm a genie in a bottle. It's not even there, so I just embarrassed myself for nothing. Genie in a bottle. That's Christina Aguilera. Holy fucking idiot. Yeah, Somewhere Over the Rainbow by Christina Perri. Wait, I know this song. I don't know this song. Oh, fucking hey, little boy, you can go where the others go. 'Cause you don't look like they do. That's just the way it is. Some things will never change. But this is a sample. Fuck, what song uses that as a sample? Is that a fucking Kanye West song? Fucking The Way It Is by there's something by Kanye West. That fucking I think it's Kanye. Is it Kanye West? I only listen to like 2 rappers. We'll see. It's not Kanye West. We're so far. Never mind. It's not fucking what I thought it was. It sounds like Chris Brown though. I know this song. I don't know though. I don't know. Oh, it's fucking Tupac! Fuck! That's one of the 2 fucking rappers I listen to. Oh, it's so fucking Jover, bro. All right, let me get the fuck out of here. I want to eat a sandwich. Well, thank you, Stinker McPinkers. I appreciate you sticking around here, chilling like strawberry filling. Who else? Thank you for stream. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you all. Thank you guys for all the help you've had on the 1.0, the road to 1.0 so far. Like I said, I'm going to post the information about the voice notes in the Discord at some point. I also forgot to post a tweet about it in the Discord too. Oops. But thank you guys for showing up. Thank you guys for all the support you've had. We're going to be back tomorrow. I'm going to be doing some doodling, I believe, if I remember my schedule. And then Friday, we stream with Knives and Poco. And then Saturday, we do some card games. And I'm very excited for all of those. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. We'll just go with the GOAT. We'll just go with the GOAT. Why not go with the GOAT? You know what I mean? Thank you guys so much for showing up. I appreciate it. I will see you all next time. Goodbye.